Justin, why did you make me the front screen right now?
I had to mess with people. I had to see how long it would take. That was great. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, so welcome to the Thursday Night Makers Hangout. Standard hangout. Bring people in. I've got 3 people in the back. And a few announcements, but we'll get to that when we see a few more people. Probably looking at switching these to Wednesdays going forward, just because I guess so many people are streaming on Thursdays. It's getting difficult when pulling people from others. So we've got our usual Shane guy hanging out, playing with random things. How's Shane?
That's going.
Yeah, another day, another penny.
Yeah. Dealing with the government.
Hey, Crystal. You know that one. And then we've got this guy, Ian, missing a Dwight.
There you go.
Everyone knows the drag racing How to Texans from Rocky Mountain and Murph. And one of my good friends, Will, who won a Trident at Rocky Mountain Rep Fest by public decision.
Thank you. Yeah, I just finished building it. It's been a treat.
Yeah, things to get used to. You know, you can always reach out for help. So always glad to help there. So, yeah. What's everyone up to?
I'm trying to move tabs around. That's what I'm up to.
Got 80 tabs open right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little nuts.
What about
you, Ian?
I'm taking this opportunity to avoid thinking about everything going on behind me right now.
Right. I get that.
What did I do with it? Oh, here. Just
everything.
Okay, you asked me to bring part of the boat I was working on. I did it last week, but I didn't actually show it off. We had so much going on. So I've got more back here I could dig out, but I wanted to show this piece in particular. This piece is extra special because this one is printed only out of samples of filament from Murph.
Nice. Hold on, let me do this, then this. Button. All right.
So this is one of the more forward pieces of the boat. I think it's like the third corner back kind of thing. And the sidewalls will be twice as tall as this. I've got another section that goes on top, and there will be a bunch of internal ribbing to help support the internal structure of everything.
Very, very nice. And how far along are you on that?
So of the original design, which was something like 30 inches wide and 4 feet long or something like that, I've got it 60% printed, but
nice.
Somewhere in the early on in the printing process, I was laying out the pieces of one side of the boat, and I said, you know what? 4 foot is not as big as it looks like when you're staring at it on a computer screen. So I'm adding an additional 2 feet into the boat. It's going to be 6 foot, and when I get enough pieces together, because I've got them stored at various places right now. Eventually, I'm going to lay it out widthwise, and I'll see if I think it's too narrow, and I might add some to the width too.
Big old boat. It's going to take you a little while.
It's going to take a while. I've gone through a lot of filament doing this thing. It's a good thing I've got a ton of filament. You can see that one back there, and I've got that up there, but what you can't see are the boxes of filament on the floor on the other side. I'm installing more and more of these Repcord racks. I've got some more of those brackets printed out.
Hey, Sergio.
Right here. I just need to get them mounted up to the wall. I've got conduit out in the garage to connect everything. So making progress.
I have too much filament as well. I could probably be helping you along if I Not like using up some of my PLA. Hopefully you'll have it ready for Rocky Mountain here.
So this boat project, is it what can you describe this project?
So I had just mountains of filament, and I've got something of a deal where I can get filament from Amazon for 25 cents on the dollar, but only the rolls that they choose to let me pick from. So I wind up with a lot of variegated and co-extrusion and tri-extrusion, and some of it's pretty cool, and a lot of it's not so cool looking. And at first, it was really cool. I got all this filament and stuff, but at some point, I realized I've got all this filament, and I just decided I needed a huge project to start whittling away at it. And I don't know why, but I picked a boat. The plan, I'm gonna have a boat, trolling motor, battery, me, register it with Texas State Parks and Wildlife as a home boat, and if they'll let me, and if they won't, I'm just gonna take it out on the water anyway. If the game warden comes up, my plan is to say I tried to register it, they wouldn't because they said it's not a boat.
Good friend Steven Zura popping in.
That's the plan. We'll see how much trouble.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Okay.
Well, I hope it's not much. I definitely empathize with the scale surprise when it comes to CAD. I've been doing CAD for a bit, and I'm always like, oh, I thought this would be different than it is. And yeah. Hey, Zura.
Hello.
Sorry, I muted Shane because he was drilling. Working on a POS printer, I think. How's Zura? How's Cleveland?
It's Cleveland. I mean, it was rainy and hailing earlier. Had to check my car for dents.
Nice. Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah. But no, otherwise all right. Getting ready for Earth.
Yeah.
I know
I'm
it's a
trying
little
to
bit
decide
away.
if I want to. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to end up going. You know.
Well, I'm going. Dom's going.
Yeah, I know Dom's going.
Where and when is Earth?
Earth is in Baltimore. Well, 45 minutes away from Baltimore. September 30th and October 1st.
Yeah, so end
Huh.
of
That's
September.
coming up. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's $10 to get in, but if you're a maker and you have something to show off, you have to email them and if they have any space.
Nice.
Yeah, this will be their 6th year, I think.
So you got to register as a maker for Earth.
Yeah, and they're actually curating the makers this year.
Oh, are they? I didn't know they were doing that this year.
Yep.
So what if they don't think your project? Well, I suppose it depends part on how many projects they get, but then if they get too many, they decide which projects they think are cool.
It's more that they had empty tables last year and they don't want to have tables without. And then there
no shows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But I think you should take, a nominal deposit down
right.
on the table.
We're looking at that.
Yeah.
We really are.
Make people have skin in the game, and then because when you said they're free, just register. Tell us how many you want. I bet a ton of people go. I don't know if I'm gonna go, but let me grab 5 tables anyway.
So here's the problem: we can only have one How to Texans. So there we go. I fixed it. Okay. There you go. So I had to mess with Ian a little bit. What's going on, Dwight?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, not much. How's your evening so far?
Hot, about normal,
Yeah?
Texas. Yeah.
At least it's not
a little
120 like it is in Phoenix.
Is it 120 in Phoenix? Seriously?
I think it was, yeah.
That's
That sounds like death.
for me, for sure. Guaranteed.
Oh, I would, yeah. I'd be dead as well, So
Oh, what's up, Shane? Is that you
Hey.
over there? You're so
Yeah.
tiny. Let me expand this thing out a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know, Dan. You were twisting my arm for me to take it, so
There's been a lot of that lately. A lot of that went on at Murph, from what I understand.
mhm.
Oh God, it was Murph was. I'm still suffering from the heat from Murph.
That was horrible.
yeah. So I got
Absolutely horrible.
two
Justin
printers.
was soaking wet that one time.
Yeah.
Well, actually, all of us were. It was awful. What were you showing, Shane?
I got two
I didn't
printers.
even
I got a Huracan and a what is this piece of crap called? Power belt.
Yeah.
A power belt.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a belt drive printer?
Yep. This is the belt, and you see the tiny rollers.
Yeah, they're very small.
Aren't most printers belt drive?
No, as in it prints 45 degree.
I know what he meant. I was just teasing him a little.
Yeah, I may very well be building a baby belt at Earth.
Nice.
A baby belt. I haven't heard of that, but
Okay.
It's a super cool little like low cost belt printer. Like real small.
Like that.
Yeah, mostly printed.
Sweet.
I like
think
this.
the-
Every time we start talking about something obscure, he walks over to his shelf and just pulls it off the
I
shelf.
know. It's
Right.
insane.
I built that at Murph last year. The last.
Cool.
Yeah,
Who
and
runs the project?
constant revisions to it. The hardest part is deciding on what fabric you want to use for the actual belt.
Right.
So which version of the belt are you planning on?
I was gonna see what he's got at Earth and go from there.
Okay. Because there's a method with using the iron-on denim
Mm-hmm.
that supposedly works really well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, here I have a question for a newbie, or I'm the newbie. So, if you buy a belt feed, you're still having to put a fabric over the top of the belt.
No, the
So-
fabric is the belt on that one. I
Fabric is
think.
the belt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the original belt was well, you're not gonna be able to see it because this one's got a bed on it, but it's got a construction paper, fabric, and then there's like carpet tape for that one. And then the newer style, it's got the fabric on one side, and then this kind of somewhat stretchy denim, like iron-on patches, for the other side. I'm not sure where I put that box with the material in it. Oh, here we go. Have the... So it's going to be this iron-on material. And you just basically, cut off whatever it is. I think it's like 10 inches or something. And then you do the same with this, your fabric, and then you iron it together. And you basically make a loop out of it. Yeah, Rob Mink is the creator of that one.
Yeah. He's cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a little bit.
Right.
I'm
I think
actually,
he's been busy.
I'm actually going to be. I'm a little more excited for his little slip up that he had. Was the he's going to be making a pro version of the baby belt, which uses the NEMA 14s instead of the crappy unipolar steppers. I kind of gave up on that one because I burnt up like 6 or 7 motors on the thing. So
On the subject of being forced to take printers with you, I recently taught a workshop at the Boulder Makerspace on CAD, and they wouldn't let me leave without taking one of their old Lulzbots. So I'm gonna rip that thing apart and get some shiny new NEMA 17s to use for some future project.
Right.
So this was Earth last year, and I had to get a picture. I thought it was so cool. Like I love the Mario one he did, but I mean they're real cute. They're real. Apparently, they print pretty well. And then you can see the Star Wars one there, it shows kind of what he does to have a belt. Like that is the belt.
It's hard to get a read on it. What's the print volume? Something like, I mean, Infinite Z, obviously.
It's tiny.
It's tiny, but it's more for printing.
5
Yeah.
inches wide, maybe, and
Yeah,
2
it's
inches
like
tall.
it's like
Good
that.
sir, we
like
do
that.
3D printing in metric, not imperial.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's about 2 beers wide.
I'll take it.
Right.
But yeah, it was probably one of the coolest things I saw at Earth last year.
I'm taking apart this this belt printer, and I'm asking myself why the hell did he use like metric Phillips stuff on this?
Yep.
Because that's
All
what
right.
flying around.
That is probably about correct.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to be lying around here. They're going straight in the garbage when I'm done.
Right.
I go, I don't throw away any screws unless they're actually stripped. In fact, okay. Oh man, here we go.
Yeah,
There
here
you go.
comes the king of screws.
There you go.
Oh my God.
1,
Captain Screwy.
2,
Oh yeah, easy.
3.
Good thing is I can turn his volume down, not yours.
There you go. Every time I dismantle an electronic, I like taking apart electronics sometimes just to get a look at their inner workings and stuff. I take all those screws and sort them out by what they are into those boxes. So, and it's actually really handy because every once in a while I go to do something and I either lose a screw or they didn't send me a screw or I just need an odd screw. And instead of hopping on Amazon and buying 100-pack of them, I just go dig through this thing and it's always in there.
Yeah. But that's the thing with it is like I've got boxes of that type of what you got there, but these are like M3 and M4 screws, and I have that already. and I for most of the stuff it's like I hate these like metric Phillips head screws. Like don't seem to like.
Oh yeah, those are the worst.
Like this one fits this screwdriver really well, but like these M3 ones, like I had a hell of a time getting them to come out.
Like when I very first got into 3D printing and I was looking for M3 screws, without going to Amazon, like going to the hardware stores, all I could find was.
Those are so expensive too.
I know, but it was like a pack of different length M3s, and they were Phillips head, and they are the worst.
That seems very difficult to find. Even like what a unique product. It's not socket head.
I mean, go to like a Menards or a
Yeah.
You'll find them.
I recently inherited somebody else's fastener collection for electronics, and it came with some fascinating stuff. I got a set of these, or 2 sets of these standoffs that are fully nylon. So they have metric hardware made of nylon.
Yep.
I'll put it against my shiny forehead there.
Yeah.
I've got some of that somewhere here.
Yeah, and like full sets of heatsink stuff, but also something I've been playing around with in my designs is you can get these metric rivets, threaded rivets for relatively cheap.
Oh yeah.
And they work very well as a constant diameter threaded insert that's just friction fit. And I'm not sure if I really enjoy the paradigm of heat set inserts. I think they, for a lot of makers, it's difficult to get their hands on the hardware and the process and, to do it right. And I like embedded nuts, but finding somewhere in between is very nice. And I like exploring that avenue.
I hadn't thought about using those as press-in like you're talking. I've got them here, but I've only ever used them for their intended purpose.
Right. I'm sure they do wonderfully as a rivet as well, but I don't have a rivet gun, so it's just another one of those limitations to early makers. that I want to get past.
We've got Jake from State Farm in the chat. Some of us might know him. I don't think. I think Shane's the only one that actually knows who he is.
Yeah, it's like I haven't seen that name in a while.
Yeah. He messaged me. They're like, "Hey."
You know, every once in a while you slice something and it looks perfect in the preview, but then it goes over to the printer and the printer is clearly not making the movement necessary to print the object. There you go.
Yeah, that's still crazy. That still just blows me away.
This Benchy, it printed the sidewalls, but only for the back half of the boat. The front half of the boat, it only printed infill.
Yeah.
How crazy is
Oh,
that?
look at this.
Huh.
Look at this, Ryan.
Look at that.
Hey,
How's it going?
Hello.
Everyone knows everyone.
What's on tonight?
Oh, just the usual, hanging out, talking about crazy stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't mind me making dinner. Just got out of work.
Yep, I'm eating dinner. So.
Yeah, I've got a nerd question for you guys.
you've already used
I was
your
on
one
about-
question
about-
for the evening.
Yeah, right. I was about 50% through on a print, and I got an alarm, and my hot end started cooling down, but it only cooled down to about 150, and it just
Okay.
held right there. Any ideas before I rip this thing apart?
I mean, off the top of my head, it sounds like the filament runout sensor.
Right.
What printer would this be
You know
on?
what? I didn't even. Yeah, this is why I'm glad I said that out loud. Because I haven't really checked it. I just shut it off. I had to leave, but
What printer?
it's on that Lot Max, that
Okay.
V3.
Are you looking now and you're actually out of filament on one spool?
Well, I don't have the light on. Let me look and see what's actually going on here.
If you nailed that in one, that's pretty fun.
No, it's not that. I wish it would have been. That would have been
never the
simplest.
easy option.
No, sensor's good. And then I tried to. I was gonna just do an extrusion, just kind of blow everything out on it, and I did a fresh restart, and it still only comes up to 150 degrees, and then I start getting a beeping and errors out, and it won't climb past it. It'll hold there, but it will not climb past it. So I don't know. I ordered a new hot end. If I have to replace it, that's fine. But
Did you get it with all the cables and stuff? Because I think the next thing I'd be looking at is the thermistor.
well, AliExpress. It was the whole kit for it.
Oh, so you're gonna be waiting a month.
Mm,
I'm
you
gonna
know
second the
what?
cables.
I haven't gotten the confirmation yet on when it ships. So yeah, it's possible.
It's on
I
Amazon.
didn't even think about it. I did not even think about that. I just grabbed it and went, dude, I've been so busy in and out. I haven't had time to sit in front of the computer or really do anything else. So,
Right.
I had
still playing catch up from Murph. So
Apparently, you have to register for a maker table for Earth. Justin,
Yes.
and they're going. If they get too many people, then they're going to decide which projects they think are cool and discard the rest of us.
Pretty much.
wait, where's this going to be in?
Earth,
Baltimore.
Earth.
Really?
Baltimore,
yeah.
Bel Air. What's the other like adjacent town?
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen.
All right. Not sure what to think about that.
Do we know when that registration starts for those tables?
It's already open.
Oh, it is.
It is.
You have to go
Okay.
on their
I need-
site and submit for it, I think.
You know, I just looked here recently and I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's on there somewhere.
I was like, that's something that should be on my to-do list.
Right?
Oh, hey, Ian.
Or to don't list.
I got one of those little micro.
The
I forget what the hell
FPV
they-
drones,
Yes.
or
And
is
dude,
that one
I
of
have
those Kinky ones?
Oh no, it's one of the little cheap ones. Yeah, little toy inside stuff, man. Because I can't fly my big drone inside, I'll break the house.
You know, be
So,
good.
well, that thing's got way too much power to be inside, dude. But yeah, this little bitty one here is a blast to fly, but all it takes is like blowing in the air real hard, and you can knock it out of the way. But outside, it does some killer tricks. You can flip it. I mean, you can drive it in any direction you want. It's insane. For $20, it's actually a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna go grab a couple of more just so we can do just drone wars outside. Just have fun with them. Or I don't. Well, it's got this nice little flexible shell on it, and the blades are very flexible. So, and dude, I have crashed the hell out of this thing, and it's still going. Yeah, I suck at driving it without some kind of stabilization. I'm not very good.
I bought a $40 or $50 drone. I don't remember what, but I got it with the intention of using it at work. I wanted to do really slow flybys through the work to get some videos of things that were being built out there, and said I thought it'd be some cool video footage, throw it up on YouTube or whatever. I go, but I got this drone.
Roku.
What?
Just grab my Roku next time you're over and take it to work.
Maybe I will. I go, but I got this one, and this was months and months ago, and after like 2 hours of fiddling with it and reading stuff online, I could not get this thing to trim so that it wouldn't walk. The trim adjustment was too stiff. I trim it, it would be drifting this way, so I trim it just one little tick, and all of a sudden it's drifting off to the other side, even indoors with the air conditioning off.
I'm having a similar issue with this little one here. But after watching everybody at Murph try to shoot them down with the dart guns, I thought, well, that's a whole other sport we can do here. That looked like a hell of a lot of fun.
I'm actually planning on making a dart gun. I don't remember which one I decided on, but I saw it on one of Zach Friedman's videos he did.
Yeah.
The one with the flywheel?
No, it's the one that's using the key retrieval tag thing as part of the loading mechanism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
That was on his most recent video, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was on his most recent. That's the one I'm planning on making anyway.
No, why don't you want to do the flywheel one?
Because I really liked that particular one. There you go.
Oh,
that's
okay, I got
that's
you.
the only reason. Is I really liked that particular one.
All right. Oh man, Ryan, what you up to, buddy?
Oh, out in Washington for work.
All right.
Yeah, so just hanging out in a hotel room.
Oh boy, fancy hotel room it looks like, at least.
Is that a hotel with a kitchen?
Yeah, I thought you were on a little B&B or something.
It's Marriott residence. We're here for a couple weeks, so we got us something nice.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Weeks. That's a lot of
Good for
time there.
saving a little bit of money. We got a kitchen in here, so I don't have to eat out every night.
Right.
Dude, actually, when I do a long-term stay on trips, I like having a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I don't mind going out, but man, every day I just don't like doing it. Sometimes I just want to. I like to cook. I like cooking.
Yeah.
So, and then I make up shit all the time, dude. Sometimes it's crap. Sometimes I kill it, but sometimes it's still crap. But it's all edible. Oh my gosh. Oh, Ian. Hey, did you get the cannon to work? I guess
to answer your question.
Yeah, I see that. All right. What was the problem? You don't know what the problem is?
I knew what the problem was. It'd be working. Are
you missing a cable? And if you don't have that, that could be an easy fix.
I've got a cable. There you go. And I tried doing it over Wi-Fi. I've got in order for it to work as a webcam, you have to install their software utility. But when I install the software utility, it comes up for a moment. And then once it's on, you're supposed to turn the camera on. And I do that, and it goes blink, blink, blink. And then the software crashes. And so I don't know. I just went and grabbed the webcam off the SV07.
When you said Canon, I was really hoping you meant like the bang kind.
There you go. No, that's
Oh.
in the other room.
Yeah, we're in Texas, man. We've got them. Oh, dude, Ian bought this. I don't remember who makes it. This air rifle cannon thing. Oh my god, that thing is so much fun to shoot.
Is it like does it shoot those little like 22 caliber pellets?
There you go. You're talking about that 25 caliber, right?
Yeah, it's a 20. It's big. Yeah, you can go kill a large game with it.
Oh,
Yeah, what is 3,000 pounds of pressure or something?
Yeah. It's I can't think of the brand, but yeah, it's a PCP air rifle, 25 caliber. It has a 10-round magazine. It's pretty sweet.
It's a lot more powerful than I thought it was going to be. I just didn't see it happening, and it really impressed me. Well,
Yeah, I
Shane,
used to
you're
have
over
it.
there just digging in, man.
yep. Yep, digging in. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I used to have one of these 22 caliber air rifles, and that thing was just so much fun to shoot.
I had a 22 caliber single shot Daisy pump action that my dad bought me, and it worked great for a long time. I actually went out. I did a bit of squirrel hunting with it and stuff, but I put it in the closet, for years, and then I got married, and years later I was like, man, it'd be fun to pick that up and shoot it some more and stuff. And I got it out and I pumped it up all the way, and I fired it, and the bullet goes thunk like 10 feet out of the barrel. I'm like, what? I go, bad
Lost the
seals.
seals on it. Yeah.
And so I got online and looked up how much it was to replace the seals, and it was like, well, I could buy a whole nother rifle for an extra $10. I might as well do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that I had, it was just like a break action. It had like you just break it in half, and
That's what mine is. I got the 177, and I love it.
Yeah.
They go, I think it's Crossman has an interesting one. They sell a round for it so it's a 22 caliber, but then it'll shoot the regular 22 caliber pellets, but then they sell a special round that you can put in it that's like a small birdshot.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how effective that would be, especially at range.
Oh, I think it would be great for taking out cockroaches. That's about it.
Just go get a bug assault, dude. Go get one of the bug assault large ones. I don't know, the big one I've got.
They've
Dude,
got
I shoot red wasp out of the air, and it actually breaks them into pieces.
They've got the Bug Assault 3.0, which is just, the third variation of the original Bug Assault. But then I noticed the other day they now have a Bug Assault pistol model that uses CO2 cartridges and a specially pre-compacted salt pellet that they sell. And
That's interesting.
And they said it's like, this thing will shred roaches and stuff. They sell it. I want to say it's like $120 on Amazon.
Hey, you know what, Ian? You just made me think about something. Normally, in the hottest part of summer, we see those big Texas skateboards running around. I haven't seen one out here. Those big field roaches. When it gets real hot, they start trying to come into the house and stuff. But I haven't seen one this whole year.
I keep poison around my house, so I hope I never see them.
Well, this is true. That just dawned on me. Normally at this time of the year, you see, especially at nighttime on the patio, you see them coming up. Sure enough, there's a Bug Assault insect pistol.
I knew you were looking that up on Amazon. I knew it. I was going to say something, but then
Ace Hardware sells it. It says Bug Assault insect repellent device for roaches, murder hornets, and scorpions. Damn it.
There you go. You know,
That's
so
funny.
I've had a Bug Assault 1 and I had a Bug Assault 2. I haven't gotten the 3, but I'm seriously thinking about getting a 3. And the one thing I've done with all of them that I've gotten is that I pumped it up and I held it like this and I shot it into my arm just to see how strong it was.
Have you done that with that new one I got?
I don't think I'd do that with the pistol though.
That new one I've got will bring blood up. It'll blister you. It is insane. I shot shit, what's his name across the street? Logan with it. Because I don't know. They called it you know what? Let me look and see. It's not, I don't know if I don't think there was a number attached to it. It was their large size, the big one. Let's see here. I don't remember what the actual model was on it.
Yeah, never mind. We'll check it out later.
But I know that it'll hurt you. And Logan chased his brothers around and was shooting them. So I grabbed it and shot him with it. And he doesn't shoot it at people anymore. It freaking hurt.
What we should do is design.
Well, I'm back.
Printed. I go. You were gone.
Yeah, I didn't even notice you were gone.
Blew the breaker in my office.
That was bound to be a happen.
Yeah, I had an 86-hour print going on the belt, and it wasn't on battery backup.
Oh no!
This is the fifth time.
Rip.
Dude, that's just horrible, dude. I feel for you.
Basically, I've used enough filament where I'm not making any money on this project, and we had 12 hours left.
Oh, that's painful.
And this bank of printers is this whole wall is on battery backup, but that wall hasn't gotten one yet.
Oh man, I feel for you,
dude.
You can't cut and glue.
Nope, the guy. It's a motorcycle seat. He wants it one piece.
Damn it, man.
There you go. Does the belt printer not have any type of auto resume?
Clipper. So I'm charging this guy a bunch of money, and at this point, I'm not making $1. Actually, going to end up losing money. I don't have a choice. I agreed to it.
Yeah.
There you go. My father always had a saying about getting a new customer. He said you have to buy your first customer, and then after that, they buy from you.
Yep.
It's not a bad
another $60 and a battery pack.
Well, if I live closer, I have one sitting over on the thing there.
You want? Can I have it by Saturday?
No.
I guess it is a 3.0, Ian. I had to flip through the pictures to match it up. It's a 3.0.
Well, next time I come over, let me shoot myself with it.
Remind me to call Logan. I let him take it home with him.
I'm just going to buy a battery backup damn things, though.
No, you don't want to shoot yourself with this. Seriously, it really hurts.
Yeah.
I'll start with the palm of my hand. There you go.
I'm going to video it, and then we'll share it with the group.
Yeah, you can video it. We'll do the whole thing. You can start with a video. Ian, being of sound mind, do hereby consent to shoot myself with the salt gun.
You might want to look up if someone else has already made this video. Get a little preview because I bet it's around.
There you go. If I do that, I might reach some kind of common sense or something.
Yeah. I got a question for you guys. I've been putting together a list of most common sourceable components to include in my designs. M3 bolts, standard sizes of bearings, springs, magnets. And I've got the springs because they're pen springs. You can get them anywhere, so I love including them in my designs. But what I don't have down is the magnets. Like everyone seems to be using different dimensions, and I make everything parametric so you can kind of adjust it to whatever magnets you have on hand. But what magnets do you guys have lying around the most that you can use in projects? Because I'd love to be able to just buy a bunch of those and
You know those I use the rectangulars and the round ones. The little
Sure,
button.
I'm looking cylinder magnets mostly at this point.
Okay, yeah. Then
Yeah.
if you're gonna go that route, yeah, just a good neo magnet. Are you asking about the size? Like most
Yeah,
common
so
size?
I know that I think it would be
There
beneficial.
you go. Look what
Yeah,
Shane's
for
holding
sure.
up right now.
Yeah, so these
Um,
are going to be like stateside. Go to like Menards, like your
yeah.
that's that's what I get.
Mhm.
But if you're like looking to like have it like all international, it's like good luck. But these seem to be all metric anyways.
Yeah, that's what
They
I've noticed about most of
Yeah.
these. Mostly right now I use the 6x3s and the 5x5s in most of my designs. Those are the two sizes I always include. And in the Voron build, it was largely 6x3s. And it made me wonder if that's the paradigm that we're in right now.
Yeah.
I've got a ton of magnets, but I think the ones I use the most are probably the 6x3s and the 5x3s. But I know I've got 3x2s. I've got some 1x1s somewhere around here.
Yeah.
Also, too, maybe look at Amazon. Just type in, what type of magnet, square magnet, and just see what's popular.
Yeah.
What's trending? Let's just see what people are buying.
I've done that on Amazon and AliExpress, and I've come to about the 6x3s, but there was just such an assortment. And I think at this point we're in a position, as forefront of 3D printing to come up with a paradigm where we can say, hey, if you're making a design with magnets, maybe try to use this size of magnet. And that way, if people who can't buy all of these sizes of magnets just have these lying around, they're likely to be able to do any project.
It gets expensive buying a ton of you need
That's
3
right.
magnets. Here's a pack of 20.
Yep.
If you're right, if we can standardize just that one small part of it at a time, the magnets is a good place to start. Dude, that's probably most people's biggest holdback is thinking they have to go specific to a recipe or a design or a build, and if we have more of a universal way to use things, that's huge. And I'm sure we're not the only ones talking about that right now. That's always been a concern,
Mm-hmm. And it's already been done for metric hardware. M3 bolts are the most common bolt you'll come across. And if you have a variety of lengths, then you're pretty good for most 3D printed projects. And I like that. And I've been trying to do the same thing with magnets and bearings, because I think a lot of people could use more bearing usage and more O-ring usage in their designs. But O-rings are a bit, more situational, and you usually don't buy them in mass, so it's less. But it's still something I'd like to see.
Buy one full of TPU and print your own gaskets.
Exactly. Yeah. Man, there's this fantastic video on O-ring usage and like the proper engineering way to do O-ring design. And I'm gonna find it here.
Yeah, please. I was gonna say find it and forward it to me here. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, so this channel was given to me by one of my professors, and they were taken aback. They're like, "No, Will, like I can't believe I'm saying this, but this YouTube video actually goes into the level of detail and professionalism that I want to see out of mechanical engineering instructional video." And I watched them like, oh damn, I need to get in line with some of this stuff. Ooh, O-rings. I'm just gonna search O-rings, and my history will do the rest. There it is. It's this show called Tarka, or a channel called TARKKA, and I'm posting a link in the chat right now. And I think that may be in the private chat. I don't know how to post in the viewer chat as well. So I think
you should be able to. But here,
okay.
I'll just copy.
If nothing else, Justin can just copy it to the wider audience.
Yep, there you go.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
Oh, dude, I'm gonna love this channel. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
phenomenal.
looking at it
Take a look
This is-
at the fasteners video, the engineering drawings video. I've just been so pleased by the quality of the content here.
He's got a website.
Oh
too.
yeah. Whoops. Not yet. Cool. Found it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a website as well. There you go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was typing it in. I'd already typed in O-rings, and as soon as you said Tarka, I put that in. I had his video pulled up before you dropped it in chat, and
Wonderful.
then I found his website.
Yeah, this is the kind of content that I just love to see. It's like good condensed knowledge with a very professional presentation that just makes it so easy to learn. And this is the kind of stuff I want to do for CAD. But boy, I've got some work to do there.
you got to drop like an F-bomb here and there, though, just to keep people away.
Oh yeah, just to keep the interest up. Oh, I get it.
Wait, what did he say?
You got to throw in an F-bomb.
The thing about compression of O-rings is you have to really get it fucking in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Say it in a very calm voice.
Yeah, yeah.
You slid it in that right there at the last. Yeah, yeah.
We were talking about our go-to hardware, so
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. The M3 is like the common. And when I'm designing something for screws and stuff, that unless it just doesn't make sense, the M3 is my go-through. I've got 3 or 4 different assortment packages of M3 screws, but I've only got one M5 and one M4 and one M2, just because once in a while you need those things.
Yep.
But I've got lots of M3, and
A recent project asked me to get M2.5s, and I was kind of disappointed with that. They had a very good reason, but it's still a very alarming. It keeps you from doing projects.
Right. Now I
in
have
a
to buy a
way
whole
that is
pack of
kind of invisible.
M2.5s to have this one thing.
That's right.
Man, I'm about to show you something crazy.
I'm excited.
Talking about hardware. If I can get my camera. Oh yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, I pretty much went on like Crapmaster Car and just bought everything that was kind of popular. Like,
Oh yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
is Crapmaster Car a clever name for AliExpress? Because that's very good.
No.
McMaster
Aw.
Car.
That's fair. Yeah, I also want more companies to do models, like CAD models of everything they make, like McMastercard.
I love that
good.
on McMasterCard.
Yeah.
And I love that you can find drawings without even needing to download it. And the
Yep.
other thing I like,
Jake from State Farm.
What's up, guys?
I-
Long time no see. Some of
Yeah,
you,
been ages, dude.
most of you,
Okay.
I haven't even met yet.
and
Okay, I don't think you're ready for this. So
Ooh.
this is a recycled drawers. These were a Husky toolbox that somebody did not need the drawers in because it was cheaper to buy that than it was to get a custom cart made for like a catering cart he was making. So
grid
No,
finish.
no.
That
Nice.
is so nice.
Ooh, that
Tell-
is sexy.
tell me a hardware size, head type, and length.
M12.
I mean, there's 2 routes we could go with this, and we could
M2
we could-
to M5.
we could all give you types that you probably don't have in there,
Okay.
Right there,
just,
the
just
option.
give me an
Let me try.
M310. Like,
An
Go off.
M310.
yeah, hit it.
M3, 50
I love it.
millimeters, flathead screw.
How about
M3. Hold on.
M310 silver.
Hold on.
I'll be back in a few minutes,
Look
guys.
at it. You
My-
opened up a can. You didn't realize that, did you?
This is
I think
lovely.
this is like a 30, but
Nice.
there's a M330 flat.
Listen to me real quick. I'm going to share some wisdom with you. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
There's an M360.
Cut it down and I'll count it.
Oh, that's a
That is
Or
long.
M5 100.
Okay.
There's a 90.
That's some goals right there. I have a
I
plan
love
once
the
I get my.
organization, though. It's spectacular.
Yeah, I've
I'm
actually been doing. I mean, I'm sure we all have like 10,000 Plano boxes full of hardware here. I'm trying to consolidate lately. I got a lot of parts just
yes.
all over the place.
I
Oh
would.
yeah, I'm just like you when it comes to like organizing and keeping everything in stock.
You need an M3 nut.
It warms my heart.
I go. Uh-oh.
I've got
This
M3 nuts by the pound.
This is my jar of stuff they got sent with Amazon furniture and other. You know when they send you a card or something, you get a couple of spare nuts, or they send you something to hang to the wall. You get some of those drywall anchors and stuff. This all goes in here. It's full. I need another jar.
I got to run out to the garage. I'll be back in a few.
You popping breakers again?
Good luck.
Trying to find an extension cord to pull one of these printers off this breaker.
I've run into these Anchor Mills cases recently where they have like dual levels. The top has like compartments for smaller parts, and then underneath has bigger components.
Those are pretty cool.
So, I've used these before because I have a classic car that I restore. I keep all my spare hardware in these guys. So
Oh, I've got some of those. Those things are fantastic.
they're so nice.
So this is my favorite storage system is the Hangout system.
Those are nice too.
Packouts are nice. They're so pricey though.
I wish these weren't so expensive. All of these organizers, it's like plastic. I got this obviously,
but they're really rugged. They really are rugged. They're you don't need to replace them because they wear out and you go, these things are going to hold up. But I've got all these little 3D printed inserts in mine that just drop in there, and I've subdivided all the compartments out into the sizes I need them to be.
Now, was that something you made, or are those files you found?
Some of them are things I made, but a lot of them are just files that are readily available. Go search the Yegi for pack out containers.
This is all
Gridfinity, right?
Yeah, Gridfinity.
Nice. I'm deep in the T-Stack system. I've got. Hold on, let me push some more into frame here.
Oh, jeez.
man, look at that.
So.
Oh my God.
I have plans once I get my Excel to start making inserts for all the drawer systems. I'm ashamed after seeing your beautiful organization system because right now this is just a stand-in, but I've got big plans. I'm so excited.
So you're a little responsible for this. That's custom cut Scatus pegboard.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's great. Is that from my Scatus generator?
No, I did the design personally.
Nice.
I just pulled the dimensions, but I got tired of not having anything I could 3D print hang on a regular pegboard, so I replaced it with Scatus.
Oh, what?
And
You
then,
made that system? Am I using that system with all these pegboard clips and everything?
Let's see those pegboard clips.
These guys. I mean, these guys. You got a whole bunch of them. You can't really see this out of view, but.
I mean, so I
may have.
Last year, I spent all summer working on my Scatus T-clip design, which has been surprisingly, like, I've been very pleased by how many people have been remixing it. Last time I checked, there were at least 40 to 60 people just marked as a remix. So I've had, I'm proud to have had a sizable influence in the Scatus community. I've been working on another pegboard design, redesigning pegboard entirely, that I'm not quite ready to release, but I'm pretty stoked on it.
Pego, have you seen that I mean, there's the hexagon board, obviously. I think we all know that. What's it called?
The hex board?
Hex
is
grid,
that what
hex board,
what's the
yeah.
hex board? They go, I've got some of that somewhere. They go,
Yeah,
"Oh,
What's
there
your
was
experience with it?
um,
Ooh.
it works.
Okay.
They go,
Confidence inspiring. I
So
feel
I
it.
tried to go that way, but I couldn't get consistent enough prints and sizes to make it feasible to cover that wall I have.
they
I mean,
go,
this is two 36 by 36 sheets.
that's what held me back from doing it too. Was the areas I want to do are
Oh,
just
hey,
too long.
Yeah.
look,
they go,
actually, look. I just realized this is unpublished. I've got this works kit here that's it's all
Hey,
battery powered.
that's
You
on my
see your design
T-clip
there?
design.
Yep.
Ah, thank you for using it. I'm so glad.
I need to publish that stuff.
You should. Mark it as a remix. It'll be great. I like there are so many important things when it comes to pegboard. Like the entire beauty of pegboard is the promise that you can quickly maneuver things and quickly rearrange.
yes,
And
And
quickly access items.
yes,
yeah,
I
like
mean that's
it's
usually my goal. Is cleanup is one thing, but when you're in a hurry, you want to be able to grab and go.
it's very visually focused. Everything
Yes.
you have is seen, and that's the value behind it. And a lot of attachment systems for pegboards either miss that aspect of it. Like I've talked a lot about I've talked a lot with the guy who designed the
oh, Justin,
with the T nuts, the Scatus T nuts, and I love those. Those were those 2.5 designs that I was talking about. But the necessity of buying extra hardware and the need to access a tool in order to rearrange stuff just kind of, I don't know, it escapes the beauty of a modular system for me just a bit.
so there's a new organization board system 3D printable that like
Is it
just
the threadboard,
threadboard.
the one he was trying to patent?
Is he trying to patent it?
Really?
They
Yeah.
go, what a waste of money. They go, there isn't enough IP there to lock down a patent. So you're essentially blowing.
I already made it in CAD.
Enforced. They go, what was really irritating to me is I was like, will you give us a step file for the thread so we can custom design our own accessories? And he's like, you're welcome to custom design your own accessories, but we won't be releasing a step file. I'm like, why not? He goes, well, it's proprietary hardware. It's a thread. Yeah, I'll admit.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you gonna patent a
A little
bolt?
too broad for a patent, I'd say.
You put some work into it. You made sure everything fits together nice. You probably cleaned it up and made it more easily 3D printable. Sure, you go, but it's a thread. And I go, and as soon as I print one of these out, I'll be able to sit down and model a replacement for it. All I'm asking for you to save me the trouble. And go, and here's the thing. You go, there's lots of people, I can model it, but there's lots of people out there that would love to do it. They don't have the skills to model a thread. They can model a brick, but not a thread. You know what I'm saying? So if you're depriving them of the ability to do that, you're depriving yourself of potential remixing and exposure opportunities.
It's a good way to look at it, Ian.
Take a look at this.
Is this Kickstarter what you're talking about? Thread
Yeah,
board?
it was Kickstarter. It's already delivered.
Mm.
Here's what I threw together.
That was quick.
Wow, I like it.
Thanks. Don't tell anyone.
Mum's the word.
Well, he doesn't have a patent yet.
They fit together due to
Oh, that's smart.
some nice, and I also have some fun alignment. Oh, there we go. I suppressed them because I want to redo them.
I really love the threadboard concept because my biggest grievance.
It's clever.
my biggest grievance with regular pegboard is when you go to move the tool and the pegs want to shift around and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you can add those little clips in that hold everything down, but then that takes
Yeah.
up space for more pegs.
That's right.
So what I really love about
There
the
we go.
thread board is when you screw it down, it actually stays in place. What am I looking at there?
So this is something that he doesn't have that I feel pretty clever about. So once
Okay.
again, shush.
Yeah, it won't leave the stream, right? All you people watching,
No, it's
you're
not
not
going
Yeah.
anywhere.
How many people are watching right now? I'm gonna actually cut this.
go.
Um, like
Wait, there's
there's a lot of problems that I have with this design, and a lot of ways that I have a large experience in designing for pegboard, and also a large experience in designing for open source. I release all my designs online for free, and I think that's the way that 3D printing should be heading.
Absolutely.
I think it's kind of like, I understand that the society we currently live in you need to make money or you die, and that sucks. But I also want to be able to make things for people that people use, and people understand that nice things doesn't have to be attached to money. So it's just so don't tell anyone.
I'm with you on that one. I mean, unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's an unfortunate world we live in, but I mean, money does make things easier, but it doesn't make things always possible.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have it, for things to be possible.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the open source. I've believed in open source since, God, I don't know, the early '90s when I started. I had a retail computer shop, and man, I believed in open source then, and Linux was the way to go. And unfortunately, it didn't go. But
It's getting
Bill
better.
Gates bought everything. No, it's still there.
But yeah. No, I see what you mean though.
Yeah,
And
everything runs Linux unless it runs Windows
That's right.
or Mac.
I love
Everything
what.
Yeah, I didn't say.
Oh yeah, are you gonna show off your
There he
Dev
goes
Linux
again. We
machine?
mentioned
Yeah.
something obscure and
Yeah.
he pulls it off the shelf.
That's
I
a
gotta-
great point.
Well, he had a belt he was holding up in the air a minute ago. What were you?
Hey,
what were you
if
saying with the belt?
If I mention a Tamagotchi, or can you go pull one of those off your shelf somewhere?
I think I got one of the Pikachu ones from back in
Oh,
2000.
Nice.
So, I've got a really unique Tamagotchi here. Look, it's an insulin pump. It's just like a Tamagotchi,
Oh.
except the stupid little animal you're keeping alive is yourself.
Is that one of the embedded ones, or like, are you a cyborg?
I'm a type 1 diabetic.
Ah,
And,
Wow.
sorry, man.
Sort of. So this is a hybrid closed loop pump. That means I've got a glucose sensor that sends a reading to it every 5 minutes, and it adjusts the settings
How
accordingly.
well is it? How dependable is it?
Pretty good. I still have to tell it when I eat, but as long as I eat like I'm supposed to, it's fantastic.
Man,
I've been
that's such a
diabetic since I
cool
was
piece of
8. I'm
tech.
34, and I've the best control of my life is with this thing.
Wow, that's nice
I'm
to hear.
so glad.
Hey Zach, does this look familiar?
I know exactly what it is. I recognize it when you had the head when I first joined the stream.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, is that the belt for the belt
Tiny
printer?
belt.
Yeah, tiny belt.
Nice.
So
Probably
check
too
this
full.
out. I nobody else I've seen has bought this yet. So I went and bought a roll because I had to order some stuff from DFH. This is the Fadis co-extruded ABS.
They're making
Have you
filament
seen
now?
that? So it's co-extruded. The outer is plain black ABS. The inner is black ABS with 25% glass fiber.
What, you mean like a core? It's got a core in it?
Yes. The
Really?
core is 25% glass fiber. So you can, because you have laminar flow when you extrude, that's the only reason why unless you've got like a CHT, but if you, on regular nozzle, you have laminar flow of the filament through the hot end.
I have
So that's why you can use the 2-color silks and the 3-color silks. Well, the same principle applies for having a insanely high carbon fiber, or in this case, glass fiber content on the core, and then the outer being just plain plastic. So it slides through and it prints better, but you still get crazy parts, and that causes the fiber to lay along the layer lines. So this is printed out of that.
Okay,
This is
who did you say made that?
Fadis makes
Fadis,
this
like
filament.
the hot end company, Fadis.
Yes.
Hmm.
So this is 40% infill and like 3 or 4 perimeters, basically boron settings. And you see how thick it is, right?
Whoa.
That's pretty good.
Man, I'm impressed.
It's insane. It is scary. So look, I printed one of these little wallets out of it, so you can see how thin the walls are, right?
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to compress in the middle.
Hey, Ian, you looking it up?
I'm trying to
So
find it.
that's a
DFH is the only place that carries it.
Can you drop a link in the chat?
So you see
Damn,
this
look
part
at,
here.
you know what, Ian? I think this is the new. I think those are new supports for the spoiler on the back. Look at that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
use it as a support
Oh
material.
no!
That looks like good enough for a support material for me.
It's $58 a kilogram, which
Jesus Christ.
is cheap.
I mean, cheaper than
for what it is.
It's cheaper than 60A from Coex.
I mean, fiberglass and carbon fiber. Like, I don't know if this has been the case, but I've always seen fiberglass as like the everyman's carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm glad to see it make its way into these, carbon infused filaments as glass infused filaments.
Just a matter of time. I mean,
Yeah.
the
It's
material
smart.
science is we're still at our infancy in what material science is available for 3D printing. And
Yeah.
dude, I only see good things coming. Seriously.
Yeah.
So,
Have you guys seen what the Atlas Lab at CU Boulder is up to? They're designing materials like algae based filament, so it's biodegradable.
mhm.
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
CNC Kitchen just came out with a video on them.
When we were at Murph, somebody was I don't remember the guy's name, but he was printing with it.
Yeah.
And it was
That was
amazing.
the actual footage from CNC Kitchen. I was thinking, oh, he's just now getting around to using that.
Yeah.
It's so great. Like that's the biggest problem that this entire realm is going to get up to is like I've seen what some people print. Like if everyone is printing on the degree of like if everyone makes a boat and not everyone needs their boat, then that's going to be a huge problem, like monumental. And if we don't come up with some sort of filament that, oh wow, is that you've got
This
a
is
cross
where it
section?
broke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
remember
where
It didn't even
snapped.
break on a layer line.
No.
Wow,
it
That's
broke
crazy.
cross layer lines.
Kinda.
that's great.
Hey, Justin, can you blow that up? Can you bring him to the front?
I mean, it almost looks like it's shattered, just like a fiberglass infused ABS plastic.
I-
would.
You know
Like-
what? It seriously
It
does.
looks like it broke just the same way glass-filled nylon breaks.
Yeah.
What's the finish on it like? Is it like a nice matte or does it kind of sparkle?
Oh, that's clean.
I like it. I'm gonna
Oh,
get
there we go. It looks
Hey,
like Galaxy
Ian,
Black.
Go ahead and order 2 rolls. Get me a roll too, and I'll buy yours. So.
There's 3 color options too. There's gray, black, and I think red.
Ooh,
Yeah,
a nice gray.
Oh, that's a nice combo altogether.
Wait, is the
So-
link that I posted the same thing as yours?
Yeah. You gotta.
Yeah,
They've
so
got
there's black, yellow, gray, orange,
orange and yellow.
Orange and
I
yellow.
think you did that. Yeah. Gray, orange, and yellow. Black, gray, orange, and yellow.
Yeah, so
I
4.
want the gray, Ian.
That's for a kilogram of that.
Of course,
The
gray's
gray
out
is
of
out of
stock.
stock, unfortunately.
Oh,
So they also have Fadis also makes a ASA glass fiber. It's not the dual extrusion.
Ooh,
That's only $38 a kilogram.
huh.
Like, I really want to try the dual extrusion thing because I mean I've seen tri extrusion and co extrusion, but what you're describing isn't like these multicolored filaments that have been out for about the last year or so.
Right. It's an actual
something.
mechanical use for co-extrusion.
Yeah,
So
it's
there's
really
the
interesting.
ASA. The ASA is 10% filled, but it's $38.
Have you had a chance to try it yet?
No, but I saw it at Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. They had rolls of it. They didn't have anything printed. But looking at the rolls, it's interesting. The red is almost like a faded color. But I mean, 10% filled that's pretty good. This 25% filled stuff though is wild.
Yeah, I want to play
Is
with
it
that
is it
for
like
sure.
is it the core that's the filled?
It's just the core. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Hold on. Let me.
Hey, Justin, while I'm thinking about it, that breaker that keeps flipping in your room is that same breaker that's been flipping, or have you changed the breaker out?
You are mute.
You're muted, buddy.
Hey, can you blow me back up for a second, Justin?
Yep. I'm in an apartment.
That's hard to see.
I don't think your camera's going to be able to focus on that.
Focus.
I believe you. I'm also curious about this dry box storage system you've got going and how that's working for you.
Yeah, that's not going to show very well. So the context behind this is I have a 19-lane trad rack on this thing here. So
I see. Okay, so you're running all those.
it's a work in progress. I've
Nice.
still got to. I validated my buffer design. I'm going to use it a little bit more and make sure it's good. And then I've got to finish out the buffer, and then I've got to finish building all of those.
That's
But
impressive.
This
You
is
got a little
just
work ahead of
Amazon.
you.
Is that what you're designing? Like, is this, oh, that's great.
Are those cereal containers?
Yeah. You got to be careful with the ones you get from Amazon because some of them have a molded, like, inset grip in the back, and they don't
Yeah.
work.
Damn.
This will only work for anything that'll fit in the Bamboo AMS stock. So Jesse rolls won't fit in it, but Polymaker fits good. So, and I use a lot of Polymaker anyway. So
Anyway, Dwight, the breaker is a 15 amp breaker. It blew 3 years ago. Hasn't blown since. And
Okay,
I literally
every time a
I
breaker
know it gets weaker.
it gets weaker. So
Yep. Now I got to call the complex and see if they'll change it without telling them why.
well, just tell them it's flipping. They don't care why. They shouldn't.
Yeah.
Right.
Dang vacuum cleaner again.
Every time you blow dry your hair, it breaks.
Yeah. So this printer is now on a different circuit with the battery backup on another breaker. So I'm running an appliance extension cord for that. So that'll pull 2 or 3 amps off the breaker immediately.
You should get them to upgrade it to a 20 amp breaker for you.
Depends on the wiring. Yeah, I'm gonna ask, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a good idea.
Well, you don't need to lose everything to a fire either. Don't go overboard. But I will tell you this, man. Printers are not very efficient. My house is very close to being
This bank is
smart
both
house.
on battery backups that smooth the power, so there's something spiked in here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you put a lime conditioner on it, it should take care of most of that stuff.
Yeah,
If
these
you want to
two
put one in
are
lime.
heating up, and my food dehydrator was drying, and my
So, semi-related subject here. My 2.4 here has this. I'm eventually going to do it on the Annex, the Trident, and I've got a Prusa Bear knockoff off screen. But I run my Raspberry Pi off of a separate power supply. I have this relay. All of my 24 and up voltage, all of it runs through this relay. So my 24 volt power supply is through the relay, and any mains powered bed is run through this relay. Before the relay, sits just the 5-volt power supply, so the pie will run. Main cell has power control built in, to where in a case of an emergency stop, it will turn this relay off, cutting all power to 24 and mains powered objects in the printer. So this machine, if it has a thermal runaway or any other emergency stop condition, it's basically like flipping the power switch in the back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not heard of anybody having this issue yet, but most MOSFETs fail open. So in the
I've heard
event
that.
of a failed MOSFET on a control board,
Well, here's the
your
fail.
heater's going to fail open, and no amount of thermal runaway protection is going to save you,
Right.
except for this, because this removes the power.
Look at the amount of walls on that.
Oh, that's
Oh, good
that's a
Lord.
failed.
Print failed.
It had 12 hours left. The power went out.
My heart hurts for you.
What are you printing it out of?
Petchy.
The seat for motorcycle.
There you go. And you can't just like print the other half and glue.
No,
it
he
together?
does not. He does not want a split part, even with glue, because 2 people are going to be sitting on this seat once this support comes off. I guess he designed the seat and needed someone to print it. So,
It'll be interesting to see if it'll hold up to the weight.
I mean,
Yeah,
when I
it
was
will.
at Murph, I did 4 walls and like no infill on a beam, and this is 8 walls and 15% infill. Like
How much does that weigh, Justin?
probably about 4.5 pounds.
Oh, that's not
What's
bad.
that in kilograms? What's
Yeah.
that in rolls of filament?
Yeah, it's
A little
it's
over
really
2 rolls of filament.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so heavy.
2.8 kilograms of material. I've spent at this point. I've spent enough money to not even. I'm not making any money on this job. So, yay!
Hell,
Grant,
if you keep going at that route, it'll be cheaper just to make a mold and have it injection molded.
Grant did a little short PSA on something like that. He goes, it was like, big prints are great because you make big money, but they're horrible because if they fail,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
lose big money.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly where I'm at right now. I've gone through 3 kilograms of filament and a couple of 1K.
So I'm in the process of designing a new center stack, like bezel. I don't know what the hell you call it, for a 1968 Firebird. So it's the surround that goes over the metal of the dash where the climate controls and the stereo are. So it's going to be custom, so they can mount a double-din stereo in it and build up a center console to meet it to where it looks like a smooth swoop. That you want to talk about some big parts and some filament? Oh my God! Because in 1968, nothing was factory like perfect, not like today's cars. So, and especially as old as it is, and how much work's been done on it, I basically design, print, and then tweak and print and tweak and print. I think I printed probably 4 or 5 tests, and each one is like half a roll of filament.
Wow.
The most recent one I did, I finally started to incorporate the wings that go, that stick out to give it the look. And that was 750 grams of filament and 30 hours on this machine. And I had to print it sideways, and it filled up the diagonal length and the height of a 350 millimeter Voron.
Wow.
When I finally make the final part, I'm going to print it out of ASA. So, yeah, I know the big part thing.
There you go. So you want to talk about testing things and failures and stuff. This box is only drag racer parts.
But wait a second, there's still a whole bunch of drag racer parts over here
There you go.
that need to be added to a bigger box.
Yeah, I need a bigger box. There you go.
I mean, that's a big question. Y'all saving your PLA or PETG for like the eventual promise of maybe being able to recycle it? Because
So
I've got buckets.
I don't.
Who doesn't?
Yes,
I don't have
yes,
enough
I
space.
am, but I really don't intend to ever recycle it into filament again. I don't sort it into different. I've got one bucket. Everything goes into
Sure.
it, and what I'm planning to do, I've got lots of plans to go, but I was planning on taking something like a cookie sheet or something and start melting it down and making sheets of the plastic. And what I think I can do
Nice.
with it at that point is take, say, like a sheet that would be, 90% PLA, and there'd be like 8% PETG and 2% miscellaneous stuff. But I've got that, and I can load it in my laser and cut out cool new projects with it. Are just going to have wild color schemes to it.
Interesting.
That'll
As
work.
long as you do not have ABS. If you have ABS in the mix,
Be
do not
real
put it on a
careful
laser.
about what you put in a laser cut. Like I know, I was looking at cutting vinyl with a laser a bit ago. It'll
Chlorine gas.
ruin the laser, sure. Like that's thousands of dollars, but it will also kill you. And it's
the process.
but it'll ruin the laser, which is the worst part. So don't
Worse than killing
you
you?
got to do a lot of research.
Death isn't the worst part.
Like thousands of dollars. Like, come on.
So another member of the community, I haven't seen her around in a hot minute. She's a robotics instructor and was cutting what was supposed to be black acrylic or black
Oh,
polycarbonate or
Devin.
something.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was ABS.
Oh,
It was ABS she was
It
cutting.
turned out it was ABS sheet, and she woke up in the hospital.
It was.
That's
It makes cyanide.
How is
Yeah.
Devin doing? Is she okay? Has she been around lately?
Yeah, from what I hear, she's doing great.
Yeah, I've talked to her. I guess she's getting married next year.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Is Greengate still around?
Yeah,
They-
Greengate. They were at Murph or at Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, they're on Long Island with me.
You're
And
aware?
they're cool because they own like recycling plants.
Yeah. They own one. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I can't remember the state.
If you're looking for containers to pop all of that filament in, I'm going to let you in on one of the biggest like actual life hacks that I've come across. Go to your local food store, go to the bakery, and ask them if they have any empty buckets that used to contain icing, because they just throw them all out. That's how you get free buckets. And it's every time I go, the first 3 times I went, I got like a total of 12 buckets, and I told myself I had to stop. I promised myself I had to stop. I'm just like, but all the buckets I could ever want. But don't go down this road. Stop at 4, please.
Don't tell me not to hoard. I have like a
Ugh.
box fetish. You can't get rid of boxes.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Talking about PETG and filament stores and everything.
Yeah.
This is right now in my house.
Yeah.
This is running the AC 24/7, and it's still 50% humidity in here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man.
It's 70
So
in my house.
check this out. This is Craftsman container that I have sealed every nook and
Oh.
cranny of.
Whoa, close it back up.
I need to
Oh,
put some more
not bad.
Peskin in it. But I've been digging around in there today. I need to dry out the desiccant. I've got the hydrator up here.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been able to, when the house is like 50, I've had that as low as 30.
That's great.
What for large scale storage is nice. Yeah, I live in Virginia, real close to the Chesapeake Bay. So
Yeah, I'm
humidity is a struggle.
I'm at like 50% now.
Yeah.
We're with you down here in Texas, dude. The humidity. We're near Houston. Me and Ian both, and the humidity is the that's the danger area for everything, including life. Every time I turn around, man, I feel like I'm gonna have a damn heat stroke. So
Yeah.
but ACs work, and if you have a smart AC, you can individually control the humidity. But if not, get a dehydrator or
Does
a
exist?
humidifier.
Damn.
So hey, Steve's here. I just noticed that.
Yeah, see, we have actual real seasons here, so like
So do we.
we'll only be like this hot and bad for another 2 months, maybe.
The
I
entire
grew up-
U.S. I've heard is going through like I'm
It's
in a
sucking
state
right now.
that has been in a drought for the past decade.
It was dumping today.
Yeah,
Absolutely pouring of it.
it's wild. Yeah.
Hey, Justin, you caught some of that bad weather then they've been talking about.
It goes from anywhere from 98 degrees to 70 and raining. It's Colorado. If you don't like the weather, just wait.
The rain
called
was so
Mitch.
nice last night.
Oh, I know.
I called Mitch a couple of days ago. I texted him and I asked him if I needed to send him a boat because he was under all those
Well, he didn't have
flash
a
flood
signal
warnings.
way there.
And he didn't respond to me, so I called him. He's like, "Oh, dude, I forgot I was in my office." And he goes, "Well, yeah, it's raining a little bit." And I was like, "Dude, you have like tornadoes around you." I'm like, "Dude, look outside."
Oh my gosh! I got my first tornado warning.
He's just outside of St. Louis, so he didn't get hit with that train of weather that came through.
Yeah, so I grew up in Central Alabama and on the Florida Gulf Coast, so
yeah,
I know hurricanes, I know tornadoes, I know heat, I know dangerous icing, freezing weather. I've been through all of it. The thing I love about here being on the Chesapeake Bay, man, is just like you get real seasons, but it's like you take the intensity of what you had on the Gulf Coast, you just turn the intensity down a little bit. Our summers aren't quite as long. They don't get quite as brutally hot. We don't have to worry about hurricanes as much because we've got North Carolina as a buffer. We get real winters. Sometimes we get snow, but not all the time. I grew up in Birmingham, and in the summer we'll be average like 15 to 20 degrees cooler than Birmingham, but in the winter we'll be like 15 to 20 degrees on average warmer than Birmingham.
Wow, that's impressive.
It's nice.
Yeah, I want to move to Alaska. I hate the heat. Absolutely hate it. I mean, seriously, that's my retirement place is Alaska. Eventually, I'm going to sell everything off and just become a hermit. Me and my dog, I guess.
Alaska's awesome.
But I mean, I'm seriously the heat. I was out on it today, and it was 101 degrees, 121 degrees heat index, and it was hard to get a full breath of air in. I still feel exhausted from it. I mean, who all here was at Murph? I know Ian was, Justin, Steve and Ron. Yeah, that was hot. I mean, but we all survived it. If we were down here in the Houston area in an open venue like that, dude, the ambulance would have been on site 24/7. One, they'd pick me up at least once every day. I've had 2 heat strokes. I don't want any more. The first one, I didn't know what it was. Second one, I understood it. Still happened. Now, I shut down before it gets to that point. I can't do it anymore.
So the weather here today got up to like
water.
92.
Tomorrow
it's high of 90, and then Saturday high of 84. Saturday, I can't wait. High of 84 with a humidity of 60. Oh,
yeah, go ahead, take that knife and twist it a little bit, All right, where's everybody else from?
I'm out in Long Island, Long Beach, New York.
I like that Gengar Texan.
You're
That's
where?
the first multicolor print off the new PS1. P1F.
PS1? Sony's making a printer?
Okay, all right. So
cool. Congrats.
Somebody left a comment on one of my videos saying, "Oh, it's a PS1," and they had me for a moment. I was like, "Hey, he got wait, what?" And now I'm making the same mistake.
Damn it!
Yeah,
I think he
Hey,
did
Matt,
it on purpose.
what kind of weather are y'all dealing with? All that flooding and stuff where you are?
Yeah. I didn't get it too bad. It's actually been pretty good by me lately, which is surprising because I get it bad because I'm around the Atlantic Ocean where Sandy hit hard, and our drains have just been like they're just still filled with sand from when the dunes washed in. But my parents got some flooding in their basement the other day. It just started downpouring like a couple inches in an hour. When it comes down that fast, there's really nothing you can do about it. But,
Yeah, there's nothing. Right.
yeah.
Nothing.
But I'm on the
Everybody's
third floor,
surviving it.
so my garage is like half a floor below ground. So sometimes I get a little water in there, but it's not that bad.
Hey, you know
Man,
what?
I wish I
Justin,
had
you
a
got
garage.
A garage. Who said that?
Me.
Who is? I don't know who says me.
Zach.
So many people on screen right now, and I'm not catching it.
Cat
you
tail.
don't. What do you don't have a garage?
Huh?
Is that what you're saying? You don't have a
Yeah, no,
garage?
I got a 860 square foot house on a 100 by 100 foot by 100 foot by 50 foot lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
And half
It's
of
a-
that's dedicated printing.
No, like all of my stuff is in a 9 foot by 9 foot room.
Oh, you are kidding
Wow.
me!
I have
Yeah,
1, 2,
tens.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 printers in here. I'm trying to get rid of some of this.
That's amazing. Like this not only gives a great
Okay.
reason for your fastener management, but also really highlights how much you've done with that space.
Okay, so it's
No doubt.
messy as hell right now,
My
but
own space.
so mounted on the wall. There's printer 1,
Yeah.
laptop mounted up there.
There you go. That's
There's
good.
printer 2. These are also mounted on the wall. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You said you had the
Nine
work
down there.
surfaces mounted on the wall?
Yeah.
Breaker issues?
All right,
Nice.
dude, you did a good job with the small amount of space you have.
Yeah, the pegboard usage is great too.
And then
I kind of hate you now. I feel you make me feel inadequate complaining about how small my space is.
and I mean this is
I have tons of room, and I still
We
want
gotta-
more.
Get you a better chair.
what? No.
Oh no, wait. No, that's dope.
This is
Good chair.
This is a Hayworth chair. This is
Hayworth.
this is like a $1,000 office chair.
Nice.
I bought
Yeah.
it used for like $200, but I mean
Nice. The way to
And
do
he's,
it.
and he's got it in a 9x9 room. Yeah.
I think this is this was like 2014 manufacture, and I mean look how good shape it is.
Oh, yeah.
This is a proper like usage rated office chair.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop off here. I'll talk to you guys later.
See you.
All right.
See you, buddy. Good seeing you again.
See ya.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
when
Now
I
that Shane's gone, I'll make an announcement.
so my last job, the chair that I inherited when I started there was falling apart, and the owner of the company's coming through, and he saw me like almost fall out of it because the thing that kept you from leaning back popped. And he's like, "Man, you need to get you a new chair." And the guy I shared an office with, he's like, "You need a new chair too. Y'all find you a chair that you want and just send in the order to our requisition guy, and I'll get it for you." So we
Just
went
get a
and
Herman
fixed-
Miller Eames, like the
Yeah.
full.
Well, we went like, hey, let's, we're gonna get Secret Labs, like the big comfy gamer chairs, and the acquisition guy's like, no, this is what you're getting. You tell me what color you want. It was a
Yeah.
Hayworth chair, and when I saw it,
Hey,
it was like
congrats on dodging the bullet on that
1600
gamer chair.
Yeah.
$1,600 for a chair. I'm like,
$1,700.
are you insane?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, if it breaks in the next 10 years, they come out and fix it.
Or they
Yep.
send you a new chair.
They go. I like the steel case chairs. 30
That's what
years,
this
they
is.
look brand new.
Yep. Gesture with headrest. Love it.
Yeah.
They go. I've been eyeballing a steel case for a while. I was actually
Do
going
the
to
payment
get,
plan. That's the way to do it.
I was gonna buy one. They go, my company won't pay for it. They go, they get antsy about $250 chairs, and I'm like, you have to replace those every couple of years. Just
Yeah.
no forward thinking there. It's a piece of furniture, whatever. They go, but I sit at that desk, and I've been sitting at that desk for 12 years or something, and it's like I want a good chair. And I was just about to go buy a steel case when they drug out a chair from one of the offices in accounting, and I'm like, what are you doing with that one? And they go, nobody's using it. And they go, everybody hates this chair. And I sat in, and I'm like, this thing's comfortable, and it's all leather, not pleather, like real leather. And I'm like,
there's a link to this chair in chat.
Cool.
I'm like, oh, I'll take this chair. And they go, fine, take it. So I went and took it, and I sat at my desk, and it's super comfortable. I'm loving it. But then I go to push myself away from the desk, and I realized why nobody wanted it. Because every time you push yourself away from the desk, instead of just rolling back,
it leans?
It lunges off to the side. They go, one of the wheels was really jacked up. And I'm like, okay, no problem. New wheels, right? They go, so $35 later, I got some new wheels. Everything's working great. They go, a couple of weeks later, I'm looking at my monitor kind of like this. They go, why is everything crooked? And I take a really good look at the chair, and the chair's leaning, and the wheelbase is like bending over. And I'm like, okay, new $50 heavy-duty wheelbase. They go, so I've got $90 into the chair now.
Oh,
they
no.
go, but it's excellent, and it's been excellent for over a year, and it's still super comfortable. I like the chair. The company that makes it is out of business, so there will never be another one.
So the cool thing is we've got a local used office furniture store where they buy out furniture when an office replaces it.
Yes.
And this chair, I mean, in this configuration, because this is a vinyl bottom, this is like probably a $1,200 chair. I got it for $150.
Nice.
Very nice.
That's amazing. I have some sketches that I started doing for a fully modular, mostly printed task chair. Because I think that it's possible, the pneumatics for the up down, the casters, all of the load bearing parts you could buy off the shelf for relatively cheap. But the ergonomics is where chairs start to really differentiate themselves. And the way that most chairs, office chairs these days handle that is with adjustment. Mm-hmm. But if you were able to make a modular system that you could swap out parts that didn't fit a particular body, that's the strength of 3D printing, is you can make products that are truly unique to the person, and you wouldn't need adjustment because you could have a very sturdy mechanism without the need for having these movable parts in there. And if you ever did change, then you could just unfastener these parts.
You could actually scan a person and then print a chair that literally only fit the person. It'd actually be a really good idea for office workers if you do that really early on when they're still fit-ish.
When they still have the light in their eyes.
If you started gaining weight, all of a sudden it would become uncomfortable. It would encourage you to lose the weight.
That's quite a dystopian take on my modular chair, but you know what? I get it. I ended up with the Herman Miller Mira 2 because I went shopping and I was trying out all the steel case stuff. I was trying out the Aeron and I'd heard so many good things, and I sat in the Aeron. I'm like, oh, huh. And I was so disappointed that I couldn't. And I sat in the Mira, and I'm like, oh, it's the perfect chair. It's just right. And I kept expecting to leave this opinion. And I still kind of want to hog Capisco, the wild looking chair with all of the protrusions that you can sit in and all the configurations. But man, like all the hype behind the Aeron was just left in the dust when I found the Mira.
Yeah, honestly, after my current job pays a whole hell of a lot more than my last job, but it's an employee owned company instead of just one guy owning the company, so they go cheap on things. So I've got one of those crappy Serta fake leather office chairs.
Yeah.
It's just not near as comfortable. I mean, if you looked at this big pillowy office chair, sit next to this, which doesn't look like anything, you think, oh, that's more comfortable, and it's really not.
Ugh.
No.
I love chairs as design, because chairs, I mean, they're one of those like architect pet projects kind of thing. You can sum up an entire artistic movement in a chair, and it's the most, it's one of these hidden like artistic feats that you come across, typefaces, chairs, architecture. And I don't know. I think it's, with every designer, it's one of those coming of age projects. You have to make a chair that kind of summarizes your entire artistic, kind of thing. I think it's less approachable in 3D printing because chairs are kind of the wrong scale as far as things that we can make. But
But they
it's
can be
just so
simple,
alluring.
like bending simple curves like the Barcelona chair,
Yeah.
or like the Eames. There's an Eames style lounge chair that I know is like popular.
Mm-hmm.
I made a one-legged stool once. Does that count?
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my favorite chair related thing that I have, right? Do you guys know John Mack? He's a
Yeah,
guy
of
in the
course.
community. So I ordered some embroidered stuff from him, and he sent me a 3D printed stool that's this big in a bottle, a stool sample.
Ha!
And I have that on my desk at work, and every now and then somebody will pick it up and look at it and like stool sample, and they're just like,
That's so good. Oh man, I watched this documentary on chair history at one point, and I was so surprised because they had tiny models of every single chair in their collection, and evidently it's the thing to do when you make a chair as an artistic expression. You not only make the chair size chair, but you also make a little tiny one out of the exact same manufacturing. I'm not joking. You've got an Eames chair. Eames, the Eames chair was the celebration of steam bent plywood. Like that was when bent plywood was like the new thing. And I'm not joking. They had plies that were 1/16 of the size, steam bent into. It was Well,
I mean, those are also serve legitimate purpose of being for salesmen.
Yes.
That's usually what it is,
imagine
is sales
carrying
salesman.
around 20 different styles of chairs.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a salesman. And they did that for so much. I remember an episode of Storage Wars where they had this tiny little piano. It looked like a baby grand piano, but it was this big. And the guy goes, "This is obviously some kind of antique children's toy." Went to have it appraised, and they go, no, this isn't a toy. This is a full scale replica of a piano this company makes. Everything about this is exactly like the big one, right down to materials and construction, except it's tiny. And a salesman would carry this around to show to customers. And if you look on eBay, you can actually find mini CNC lathes, which are, I mean, I call them mini, but they're still like this
Sure.
big, but they're miniature versions, fully operational of larger model lathes that they used to sell, and salesmen could take these around for demonstration purposes.
That
That's
must have been
amazing. I didn't know
early
that.
days. Like,
It wasn't
how long
early
ago are we
days.
talking about?
What?
How long ago are you talking about that those existed?
Long time ago, the early days of
Oh.
CNC. You know, CNC's everywhere, but back then it was like, you know, is CNC worth it? You kind of have to show it off and make
Right.
people understand. You got to get the model in front of them and go, look what you can do and how easy it is to do
I'm
it.
a CNC programmer, and I used to work in a shop with mostly 80s Japanese machines. So, seeing the
I'll be-
control cabinet size on those things, it's amazing that they would be able to have anything portable at all.
Okay, so I have a small announcement. So, concerning Rocky Mountain Rep Fest 2024.
Oh, no, it's canceled, right?
Yes, no.
No bad news.
No bad news. As of today, the contract for the venue has been signed and the deposit has been made. So
Nice.
there will be a Rocky Mountain Rep Fest 2024.
Okay.
Congratulations.
I'd like to reserve my table.
Yeah, not
me
yet.
too.
For those of you wondering
Same.
about dates, go ahead and get your pens
Ready.
or your cell phones or whatever you want to write down the dates for. Looks like Ian literally. Someone vanished. Who vanished? Well, vanished.
Why?
I'm here. I'm working. I'm
Oh,
trying
there
to
he is.
figure out
Hold
that
on, hold on.
printer.
Just hit
Oops,
Alt
I'm
F4
back.
there, Will.
Yeah, no, I clicked on my calendar.
So let me know when everyone's ready, and I will officially announce the dates, which I've been wanting to do for 3 weeks.
Drum roll,
All right.
please.
Just go.
Have a drum roll. All right, so it's in April, as everyone knows. Setup day will be April.
I want
Setup.
to guess 19th through the 21st.
How'd you know? Thanks for ruining it. So setup day will. Hey, hold on. Where
It's
is he?
fire.
Hold on. There we go. Just kick him out. So yeah, April 19th will be setup day. April 20th will be obviously event day. That's Saturday and Sunday, 21st. So.
I don't know, man. The 20th, that's like a
I know,
statewide
it's a
holiday,
problem.
isn't it?
I know it's a problem, but if we move up a week, we lose that weekend, and no guarantee we get the weekend ahead. So we're going with having an event versus not.
April
yeah.
19th through 21st.
Yep.
I've got it on my calendar.
Well,
That's
and the-
fantastic.
24. I'm working on the website and the Eventbrite and hoping to release general admission tickets in the next week or two. So those are free, and then once we have sponsors and a layout, we'll work on exhibitors. It's gonna
Yeah, it was nice seeing you get a good
little
turnout for this last one.
Oh
Seems
my
like
God,
everybody
beautiful.
enjoyed themselves.
Oh man, you know
That
what?
was insane.
I wonder what flying into Denver on 420 is going to be like.
Oh,
Or just before 420.
that's the state holiday. I'm like, I don't see anything on my calendar. Didn't register.
Did not register from
Hey,
from
you know what, guys? I don't know how much flying I'm gonna do anymore. That was such a pain in the ass at Remerve. And then Ian and I did a road trip. We drove to Indiana from Houston area, and yeah, I mean, not that every trip's going to be great, but we had a freaking blast. So, and Colorado is actually closer than driving to where we were in Gonad, Indiana. Is that where we were? It was
Sweating bullets,
Goshen.
Indiana. I like how Ian's just sitting there.
Dude, that was ridiculously hot. I don't want to repeat that.
Okay, so if I were to drive to Remerve,
26 hours.
1,786 miles one way.
That's it.
Where do you live? You talking about in Virginia?
Southeast Virginia.
Yeah, I'm in
It doesn't look
I'm
that
in
far
Northern
on the
Virginia,
map. It only
so
looks like it's that far away.
Maine.
All right.
Oh, Maine. There you go. Winner.
Yeah, I'm in Hampton. So
Okay, I'm in Nova.
Yeah, that would be a
Yeah,
31-hour
26
drive
hours.
for us.
So
2,100 miles.
our drive
You know,
is 1,000.
With the aggravation and the irritation of plane flights, it's
Oh, yeah.
26 hours still sounds like a dream compared to dealing with Denver Airport.
Are you Texas guys road tripping to Earth?
I am,
So
yeah.
I
Nice.
can't go to Earth. They go. My wife is pregnant right now, and she's going to be delivering right about that time, and so
That's right.
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
So you're gonna have a rep rap festival of your own.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's right.
What happens when you turn your wife into a baby factory?
That's a much more crass way of putting my joke.
Oh, he knows I don't mean any harm with it, and I love
I
his
know.
wife to death, dude. She's a great woman.
Yeah,
She's a good mom. She really is.
Yeah, I'm glad I won't ever have to worry about that problem.
Sorry, Ian. I clicked add and it didn't let me back in. So
Why are you never going to have to worry about that problem?
I ain't having kids.
yeah, me neither.
Oh, yeah, it's cheaper. It's cheaper that
Yeah.
way.
What are you
Hey,
talking
do you
about?
remember the issue I was telling you about where my hot end was only going to 150 and erroring out?
Yeah.
I switched it. I started playing with some of the settings and I switched it over to just preheat to ABS. And I'm at 230 right now and it's extruding just fine. So now I'm really puzzled about what the hell's going on.
okay. So when you're heating and it was only heating to 150, were you heating it by running a print or by trying to actually heat it?
Either way, it didn't matter how I tried to print it. Now that was like preheat to PLA, it would error at 150. So I thought before I start, take a screwdriver to this. Let me go ahead and try to do ABS, and I'll just do a purge on the system real quick, and boom, everything is working now.
Huh.
What the fuck, dude? 3D printers, they're just a total freaking mystery sometimes.
Yes, trust me, I know.
That is.
You have a fan stuck on and at 100% that was keeping the hot end from reaching temp.
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on?
That was actually, I don't know who said that, but that was actually my first thought to see if it was doing that, and that was not the issue. Yeah. No, I'm still a newbie at all this, but I at least do try things before I mention them out loud.
Right.
It was just
No
that
fun.
one left me confused. So hell, I don't know. I'm gonna shoot a print over to it and see what the hell it does and see if it errors out or not. We'll see what I got in here.
Well, guys, I got to get up here. It's 11 o'clock and my shift starts at 6:30. So,
Ooh.
Nice. Good luck with that.
Get some rest.
All right. Have a good night, man.
Good seeing you, man, buddy. See you around.
I might be winding down as well. I want to say that it was a delight meeting everyone here today.
Oh yeah, definitely come
I do
back.
have-
Yeah.
Do you have a
I didn't
question?
get your name.
Yeah.
Light Arc. What? Light Arc Line. What was your name?
So my name's Will.
Will.
Will Harris. I kind of had my debut at Justin's Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Festival. I just graduated from my master's degree in design, and thank you. I appreciate it. They still haven't sent my diploma. It's been months. I'm hoping they don't find out. No. But yeah, no. I really enjoy this community and the promises that I can do for society and just my own love of objects. So.
You've got the right attitude for sure.
Thank you.
And you're going into it with the most positive outlook on the way to do things.
I hope so.
If you don't succeed, it's because you do it to yourself. That's all I can say.
Wow,
right now, it sounds like
that
you're
is great advice that will really make me feel bad a bit down the line.
I feel great about it.
Just don't bend over and screw yourself. That's all it is.
Right?
I mean, you're on the right path.
If y'all know a good job for me, that's the stage I'm at in my life. So I'm
What do
on
you
the
want
hunt.
to do?
Product design. I love it. I love doing CAD. I love doing rapid prototyping.
I was gonna ask you before, how are you liking Onshape?
I've tried just about every CAD program at this point. And I feel like I'm finally at a point after these years to actually intelligently compare them, at least from a maker perspective, not quite from a CNC programming perspective.
Right.
And I started with SolidWorks in my undergraduate career, and it's a computer program made by.
SolidWorks is complicated. Yeah, I
They
grew up.
they're
I'm old school. I still
Yeah.
I still do 3D design in like AutoCAD.
Oh, nice. I was reading a book recently on called the Autodesk File, which
Yeah.
is all of the memos from when Autodesk was first becoming a company, and their insight on what CAD drawing could become was fascinating.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a very, I gotta say, if someone were to send me one of the letters that they were sending out saying like, hey, we're going to make a lot of money, and if you are ready to do a big job for unreasonable hours with no pay with great promise, then we got. And I'm like, oh, like I don't know how anyone, like, tech was different back then, but boy, were these some troubling emails with like, but hey, I mean, look at him today, like, but a comparison between a product that I assume we're all kind of in right now, Fusion 360 and
Well, they
Onshape.
just kicked me out of my free maker license. And
Oh,
they
wait,
stopped,
what?
Yeah, they stopped giving free licenses a while ago, I think, right?
Well, oh no.
No, you have to renew every year. You
Oh,
have to
okay.
renew it every year.
Sure.
That's
I'm hanging on tight to my student licenses. Don't tell. But
at Rocky Mountain, there was somebody, and I want to say it was SolidWorks. He says, you can get full blown SolidWorks for $69 a year, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, where?
Wow.
No, they added it as a hobbyist. I thought it was 99, but
everyone's making moves in that
full blown
direction.
license.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
And
it's like a $3,000.
It might have been more than that, but he's like, okay, so first you have to register with this association.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, what does that have to do? They go, they've got a deal because the guy who runs this association is friends with the owner, and it's like,
so it's like a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I say, so what does that cost? And he's like, well, that's like half of the cost. And then once you do that, then you can get SolidWorks for this nominal price. And I go, but I didn't care enough about SolidWorks to bother to actually document any of that information.
Sure. Man, it's rough. Like, SolidWorks is good, but at this point, they're not mobile. Like, they have users that expect a very specific workflow, and I know companies that keep every revision of SolidWorks in their stack because you need to, in order to work with customers, they're on specific versions of SolidWorks. It's, we've learned a lot about computer science since SolidWorks was created. A lot about design of applications in order to make them extensible and maneuverable and workflow. And we've learned a lot about, my master's degree was in user interface, user experience, design, and there are ways that you can make an application like SolidWorks approachable to people who don't, have a SolidWorks certificate. And that's what I think some programs are getting closer to. Now, in comes Fusion 360, which aims, their primary, selling point with Fusion 360 is that interface. Same workflow, same history-based design, but it is approachable to the average maker. Suddenly, you get people who aren't in this mechanical engineering field making things using history-based parametric design. Yep. That's amazing. However, I think Fusion 360 still has some aspects that I'm really not happy with. I love how they do components, but some of that workflow isn't particularly well thought out. You can't make a parent component. So if you mess up and do your entire design in that original component it creates for you, you're kind of out of luck. It's you still don't have some of these maneuverability in interface, human interface selection like you do in a video game. You can choose which buttons control your camera. I have not yet found a CAD software that has the same amount of thought put towards the controls as any video game you look at these days, and that's a misstep.
AutoCAD actually will let you overwrite all the controls.
That's why I'm kind of like stuck on back just old school AutoCAD. Because,
sure.
I mean, I studied architecture, so I grew up 2D graphics.
Wonderful.
So
I admire that.
If I'm doing something really, really simple, I actually use the AutoCAD program we have at work because I can whip things out of that.
Now you can do a lot with AutoCAD.
You know what?
You can get to some pretty extensive modeling just with AutoCAD.
Yeah, but the thing about I like Fusion 360. In fact, I pay for their subscription $500 a year, and but the one thing, if I could change just one thing about the program, it is how sketches are done. It's
really
I understand what they're going for, where everything gets constrained right away. Because it's supposed to be this parametric thing, but they don't give a way to turn it off. If I want to do something really simple, I don't want all that stuff getting in my way. I just want to whip out a really simple sketch.
Right.
I want this line to go up and this line to go sideways. No, I don't need you to lock it into 90 degrees here.
Yep.
I don't need you to tie these two lines together because I want to move this line in just a moment. Don't constrain those two things together.
Right. Stop adding constraints for me. There's a
feature where you can you hold down a key. I don't remember which one, but it turns off constraints. But when you do that, it also prevents you from drawing lines at straight 90 degrees and stuff like that. So it's
like my take on this is like you're hearing this from the biggest fan of constraint-based design that you'll talk to in a while. However, one of my mentors was John Backus, who was one of the original product designers for SketchUp, which is and
I spent a lot of time in SketchUp.
And after looking at it recently, I mean, it is not that parametric design workflow, and some of his ideals. One of the reasons that I really, really like John Backus is he has this concept of keeping it sketchy. And there are a lot, you heard it from me, the biggest fan of history-based parametric design. There are a lot of benefits to doing a design not quick, but there are also important benefits that we can't forget about keeping it sketchy and the ability to just quickly whip out a design.
Yep.
And I think that you're absolutely right. Like Fusion 360 and any of these with this specific workflow doesn't allow for that because the entire parametric thing falls apart when you let someone do that. But
what I think they should do, they're really worried about the parametric. I get that.
Yeah.
But here's what they could do. Have it on by default all the time, every new drawing. You could even make it so when you reopen a drawing, it comes on automatically and needs to be disabled again. But give us a little button that we can click it, throw up the little, are you really sure? Because you're going to lose out on all these. And we go, yes, we're sure. But then let us turn it off and let us use the ortho and the snaps and stuff.
Right.
Just like AutoCAD lets you do, because I get it. Parametric design, timelines, excellent. Love it. I don't use it enough. I need to use it more. I need to understand it more than I do. I understand it, but sometimes I just get in there and I start doing things, and before I know it, I've missed something along the line, and now it's all messed up.
That was what was great about SketchUp when it first came out, because you didn't have to understand all that. You didn't know you didn't need to know about components or parametric design. You can just the average person just go in there and start making 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was free.
Yeah, it was
Is
free.
it still free? I don't know.
I think it's still free.
No.
Oh, really?
There's a personal use that's free, but otherwise
Okay.
it's like it's up there. It's $700 or something like that.
Oh wow, really?
Because it's Trimble now. Hey,
yeah, it's Trimble.
Something you guys might be interested in is Trimble Creator. It's a new product that they're coming out, which is a node-based parametric design editor. That's very interesting. It was called Trimble Creator, and I don't know. Yeah, so
from Star Trek.
No,
not Trimble.
Trimble is one of those big companies that
mostly they're GPS. They're big into GPS.
Yeah,
and like high precision location stuff. And
okay, I tried to type in Trimble Creator Google, and the very first thing that comes up is Star Trek.
Yeah,
well,
so
of course it would be for Trimble.
Trimble. Yeah. But it's similar to Grasshopper, I'd say. I mean, don't let them hear that I said that. They're like, no, we're not like we're Grasshoppers over here. We're up here. And like it's great. Like the abilities of this program are like nothing I've seen in another CAD program.
It's web-based.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I was talking with some of the folks from Onshape, and that's one of the things that really stuck with me is in this day and age with the capabilities of browser, why would you make a local installed app?
So it
you have updating, you have, version inconsistencies, you have all of these products that come from, the issues with distribution around locally installed applications. And one of the reasons I have really, really been liking Onshape is that I don't have to mess with any of that. Well, first of all, I used Onshape in my CAD workshops because installation is effortless. You make an account and you have a fully realized product on literally any computer. I had someone do my entire workshop on their phone, and the ability to access and tweak models on literally any device that I have around me has been a real treat. But the other reason that I've been liking Onshape is because of their clean handling of a lot of the subtle aspects of parametric design, the way they handle parameters and variables, the way they handle the version management is just like Git. It's amazing. And finally, the ability to collaborate on a project just like Google Docs with whoever I'm working on it with, and then seeing the exact same thing I'm seeing.
I'm gonna try it out. I just signed up for an account yesterday.
I was looking at.
I still have problems with it, but
like any program you can have problems.
Exactly.
You just gotta find the lesser of two evils.
And like me, big into open source, like you can't download a source file from Onshape. That's a huge problem for me.
There you go. I do really the thing, I really like Fusion 360, but I get Onshape and it's completely web-based integration. It's like that's really tempting.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm really waiting for is, I've tried FreeCAD. And it's a mess. It has, deprecated sketch interfaces that are required for someone's model 5 years. Like it is rough, and they desperately need a user interface designer. But what I want to see is someone take the open source kernel from Blender and make a wrapper that has a beautiful user interface that allows for full, like, no holds barred parametric history-based design.
That would be awesome.
And once we get a beautiful open source CAD software, my life will be better, and I'm so excited. But it's just so rough, and
it's so hard to get open source stuff. I go, there was a business, NetFab.
I'm familiar with
You
NetFab.
go, so they started open source. They provided their product out there. You could use it for free. They made it a bit annoying to use for free to encourage you to pay for a license, but you could use it for free. It was great. And it was a fantastic product for, slicing apart models or fixing models that had errors back before, our slicing programs could do that themselves.
Right.
And, Autodesk went in and bought them up.
Yep, that's all Autodesk does.
And now NetFab, instead of being, I think they had like $100 license before, and now it's a $2,000 a year license. And however, here's the really, really cool thing is NetFab got a little clause in their contract to protect us. And that very last version that they released to the public before buying out, Autodesk is required to allow you to continue using that for free.
NetFab, you little rascals, you did it.
Can find it. It's pretty hard to track down. I've got a copy somewhere. But I know where it is. I know exactly where my copy is. But yeah.
There's the popular program for all of that mesh management and working with meshes was Mesh Mixer. But I've been hearing beautiful things about Microsoft 3D Builder.
It's
haven't tried it
good.
yet.
Oh, I played with that. It's not bad.
That's amazing. Like,
it's
I'm
no
just so
replacement
astounded
for Mesh Mixer, but
okay.
But here's the thing: it can do many of the things you can do in Mesh Mixer, and in my opinion, it does it easier and better.
Yep. Yeah. So if you want to do basic operations, basic operations like chopping things up, putting holes in them, merging two meshes together, like really basic stuff.
Mesh Mixer.
It's so good at it, and I find Mesh Mixer almost impossible to understand what I'm supposed to do.
Yes.
And 3D Builder is not perfect, but one of the things it does that nobody else does that I've seen is there's detents. When you put two meshes with flat faces next to each other, it actually pauses them as you're moving them, and basically gives you there's something here. The surfaces are meeting, and so you can bring them together. And then, select them both and merge them or things like that. It's got some really, I was shocked at how good it was at
I
those
used
things.
3D Builder I wanted to do the banana for scale meme. But I didn't want to print it with support. I wanted to print it flat. So I pulled the banana, I sliced it in half with Builder, and then I pulled the two halves together and I made cylinder objects and put them between the two halves.
Yeah, key objects.
And then removed them so that I have keys to put them together. And I did that all in Builder. It was pretty easy, pretty intuitive.
Man.
And
y'all played around with the new Prusa slicer keys that they added?
When you cut.
Yeah, you can auto add those barrels. It is a treat. I was introducing.
I want to.
Yeah, I had a friend who was doing a big print, and I told them use Prusa Slicer, download the beta. I know I'm asking you to go in deep here, but trust me, it's worth it. And they were adding key objects like a pro in minutes. I was so impressed.
Have you heard of a program called Luban 3D?
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Luban does everything.
How do you spell it?
It does a ton of stuff, but one of the things
Luban 3D. There's two things. There's Luban Slicer that's different. Luban 3D is the tool you're looking for.
Generative design.
One of the really cool things it does is you can import an STL and scale it to whatever size, but then you can tell it, all right, now I want to break it apart into so many pieces of such a size, and it can do that, and it can also edit it so it creates numbers so that to help you, because if you got something huge parts,
that's
have
clever.
Numbers to help you know which pieces go together. It creates keyholes and pegs to line everything up.
This is wild. So many niche like operations.
Luben does all these crazy things, like really, really a huge number of things you can do in Luben 3D that are just really impressive.
I'm looking at this eyeglasses.
Tribble, because I could never find it.
Oh,
Trimble,
here.
Trimble with an M.
Trimble is okay.
Trimble.
Yeah.
Trimble.
Trimble. Okay. All right.
Uses. Here we go. Trimble Creator is very interesting because I don't know if you need some sort of invite for it. I got
in.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I don't know what to do, but I got in.
No, it's difficult. Follow their they redid the onboarding interface recently. So definitely go through those tutorials. They're great. It's a completely novel and powerful way of modeling, and what I plan to use it for is making web-based interfaces for parametric objects, because they do this wonderful, very approachable way of making like if I were to make I don't know, my pegboard. Yeah, like imagine a polished version of OpenSCAD's customizer.
I love the idea of OpenSCAD. I hate the lack of an interface. I just can't deal with trying to design. Just the idea of trying to design in CAD the way I would write a piece of software. It hurts my head.
I like OpenSCAD is my top goal, but what I'm really waiting for is, why did they make their own language? I just want it as a library for Python or JavaScript. Like, give me a C# 3D modeling language, and that's something I can commit to. But they don't have case switch statements, and I'm like, I'm so picky about my languages.
If you wrote it like Python, yeah, I already know Python. Obviously, you got to add in a few little customizable things of your own, but I don't mind adding. But make me learn a whole new syntax.
Man. And it's just all of my programming, I always do it as object oriented as I can, and that requires certain things from languages, regardless, it just doesn't. I didn't see that, and I was like, I want it, but I want it different. Which is what I say about literally every product that I encounter. So anyway, I realize I've been ranting about CAD for a while. Thanks for.
Actually, it's quite entertaining. Y'all have this conversation anytime you want.
Question for the group. I'm looking to move this to Wednesdays. Does that work for everyone, or are we better off on Thursdays?
I'm down, little brother. Whenever you want to do it, I'm good.
Whatever
everybody decides, I'm good with.
Yeah, I can probably actually make it more if you had it on Wednesdays than I could on Thursdays.
Less people stream on Wednesdays.
If you do it on Wednesdays, you'll either need to move it back a half an hour, or I'll just have to show up late half an hour.
Yeah, show up late. It'll be 7 p.m. most likely on Wednesdays.
You'll probably be happy about that. You'll have to deal with me less.
Hey, there you go.
It doesn't matter to adjust the volume. That's how cool that is.
Oh yeah. I can adjust the volume anytime I need, just like that. Good thing is I don't lose both of them this time.
I tell you,
one of these days you're gonna do that, and I'm just gonna hit the close button. I'll be gone.
Okay.
Wow. Not this time.
I gotta appreciate the comedic timing. No hesitation.
No, I don't hesitate.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like doing this. Where'd Will go? Like, he just vanished off.
Whoops.
Oh wow, he did it.
Ian actually vanished.
Commits
he clicked out.
You gotta love it.
I didn't even kick him. I moved Will off.
Y'all want to see something I'm kind of stoked on that I just got in the mail. I finally sprung for my favorite fan manufacturer's product. Are you familiar with Noctua?
Oh yeah.
The
Yep.
meme-worthy brand. I finally sprung for one of their CPU coolers, and it is quite large.
Ooh, he's strapping that thing too. Wow.
Now it's going on some, frankly, 4 or 5-year-old hardware, but I realized the other night that I would wake up every time my PC panicked and the CPU fan sprung up, and I'm like, nah, I think it's time.
And something like that isn't something
Have you
that's
looked
gonna
into
go out
liquid
of
cooling?
a few years.
I have. I don't know if I want to do liquid cooling, even if it's close. He's
I
back.
did.
I
He's
appreciate the
back.
commit to the bit. Good work. Proper comedy.
That was not.
The
I
all-
didn't kick him. I moved Will
Yeah.
out, so I don't know what he
But
was.
he was ready that time. He saw that screen
go.
rearrange.
Was
He's
ready.
like, I'm in.
I spent like from the very first, that last time you kicked me out, I go, when I told you I was going to do it, I didn't expect you to do it so soon. But from there, I just had my mouse hovering over the exit button, waiting for you. I was
Good
like,
work.
And I did it to Will, and then you
Yeah.
vanished. Prank.
The impact. It was still impactful to the
Do you
crowd.
watch-
They're like, yeah.
Hey Will, do you watch the fan showdown?
Oh, isn't that the one where he users submit
Yep.
various?
Yeah.
What a wonderful
Major Hardware is his
yeah.
channel. Yeah. He
Such
does those. They're really fun.
They're so cool, and the fan designs that people come up with are so exciting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected it to be able to go on this long, but just the sheer power and the relatability and the curiosity from that always comes off so beautifully. I really respect him as a creator.
If you guys haven't seen it, the fan showdown, he takes a Noctua A12 X21, and
their product names are very confusing.
yes, and which is like one of the best and quietest fans. And then he started making fan. He figured out that you could take the fan off the hub and just friction fit another fan on there. Yeah. And he started making some designs, and people started saying, "Well, what if you put golf ball dimples on it and all this stuff?" And he said, "You know what? I can't print all these. I don't have time. But if you guys want to make designs, I'll print them and put them on there and test them." And so then he ended up starting doing this whole thing, and now he's on like season 5, and people have gone ridiculous. And
it's amazing. I do hope he resin prints some of them, because it
he
really
has.
makes me. Oh, he has. I haven't
done
watched
that
many of the
test.
recent.
He's
That's
done
great.
the resin printing test where he said, "Well, what is this better with resin?" And he found no difference, no effective difference. I mean, it was less than 1% if there was a difference.
That's great news for 3D printed aerodynamic stuff. That's just incredible.
But yeah, he had someone one vendor sold him or sent him an IDEX that does the dissolvable sports. So he was doing dissolvable sports for a long time, and then he went then he got an X1C, so now he's just printing it on the X1C and not worried about it. And more people are getting better at making printable fans that are easier to print.
This is like the dream of open source. Hey crowd, let's make the best fan design.
So, and then one of the guys actually in the first season, I think they actually had a filament company contact him about. He said, "Hey, we want that. We wanted to use that fan design," and he was able to get. He didn't know the guy. They just emailed it randomly to his box. He was able to get the guy connected with the fan company. I don't think that still hasn't come to market, but it's still in progress apparently.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was
Have you seen
Steve,
some? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, is there an update for U Forge? Or are you still working?
I'm still working on it. Hopefully this weekend. I'm doing all the boring stuff that I'm trying to avoid, because it needs to be done. But when I'm done with it, you won't really be able to see much of the difference.
Right. Will, have you heard of UForge?
No, I was just gonna ask if you can
tell me what you're up to. Doesn't know what it is. Look, here's Mitch.
Hey, Mitch.
So, Steve.
Hey, Mitch.
Tell us about UForge.
Sure.
For those that don't know.
I came at the right time. Sorry.
HueForge is a piece of software I wrote originally for backlit lithophanes, color backlit lithophanes.
Yeah.
But swap by layer rather than swap by.
Oh.
Sorry.
I love this demo that you have just there.
They're just all sitting all over my desk.
Great.
And I worked on those for a while, and that was my big thing. And then I ran into this guy, Ian, from the UK, who was doing, I thought the same thing, but it turned out he was doing front lit and blending the filaments in his head. And I knew it was hard to do. And so then I changed QForge to do that too. So now I do so front lit layer based 3D prints.
Wow.
Like these.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's three colors. That's three colors.
That don't have the same colors you see on.
Right. So this is black, red, and yellow. That's all it's on it. It's three different colors, 3 layers, or 2 layer swaps, or 2 color swaps.
Okay.
And basically it does. So what HueForge does is it generates the models and it calculates where to do the swaps based on the data about the filament that you put in, and then you put that in your slicer and do your layer swaps, and then you can make a whole bunch of different things with it. I've done like D&D terrain tiles.
Oh my gosh!
Awesome.
But
it looks like it's not in painted, but what's the modeling term? Like the model painting where you
whether
dry brush
like
and
dry
stuff?
brush,
Yeah.
And actually, like I think you probably do better if you wash coded this afterwards. But yeah, no. So I released it in June, middle of June. This is the.
Have you seen the guy who's been basically making a filament library and like a Pantone?
Yeah, the filament librarian. Filament.xyz.
Yeah, Joe, he's awesome.
Yeah. I've talked to them briefly. We talked about trying to put the TDs on there, and he said for API reasons he couldn't do it. Legacy API reasons he couldn't make it happen. But and I haven't I've been so busy I haven't had a chance to reconnect with him and talk to him about pulling codes or making a downloadable JSON version, even if it can't put it on the web API. But yeah, so I've been working that. It isn't open source. I'm sorry. I get
it.
If I'm gonna do
everything can be open source. I wish people would get that through their head.
Once currency isn't a thing anymore, then I think everything should be open source. But
now,
before that, it's rough.
The nice thing about UForge is a personal license is $12.
Yeah.
Hey, that's extremely reasonable. And
you can get one for free if you buy some Polymaker filament, right?
Only until the 24th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
12 a.m. the 24th.
Wait, I bought some Polymaker filament.
No, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. You buy HueForge and you get a coupon for Polymaker filament equal to purchase of HueForge, which was all their idea.
Cool.
And he came almost apologetically to me saying we have to stop doing this. I'm like, are you kidding me? You did it for you never had to do it in the first place. This is so
that's very.
So here's the site for.
Post it.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, so it's basically you can go to theUForge.com.
Yeah.
So you have 4 licenses. You have your $12, just use it for yourself. You have the $30 limited commercial annual, the $80 professional commercial, and the $175 lifetime professional commercial.
That's very affordable for a lifetime commercial license.
Yeah, I did the 30 for my use.
Well, this is the early access pricing. The you got in when it just came out, and I'm doing bug fixes and quality of life, and you're not going to get any new features for a while. So, there you go. There's a whole gallery of things there.
That's astounding.
Gosh, the amount of stuff you can do.
Chris Corello's been making some awesome stuff.
Yeah, the Star Wars stuff.
And that's just off a regular FDM printer.
And you don't.
How many layer changes?
I didn't even have an AMS unit until a week before I launched. So all of those are printed. No, sorry, that's not true. The Apple was printed on an X1C. That was Ian's.
Sure.
But almost all of those were printed on my printers with no automatic filament swatching, just manual filament swaps.
Yeah, it's easy enough these days if you don't have a multicolor printer.
That is astounding.
That's a backlit. That's a lithophane.
Yep.
So it does both.
Yeah, it does both.
Nice.
That is the very first one I ever did. Actually, those are more lithophanes there. Yeah, that's the very first front lit one I ever did.
Polymaker's gonna really reap the benefits of this down the road for helping.
I think so.
For helping you expand, because what you've done is you've created a reason for someone to go and buy that specific roll of film. How many of us have been looking at something and we go, well, this really isn't quite the right shade of green.
Yep.
But I don't want to spend $20 to buy it. But then you're looking at those absolutely stunning images, and you go, I want this to turn out right.
Yep.
Honestly, like CMYK filament has got to be coming.
It does.
Like,
Well, so CMYK, I'm well. So by the way, I put a link in the private chat. There's a QForge put together some filament, or sorry, Polymaker put together some QForge filament packs, and I did consult on these. Though actually, a couple of community members did most of the work on prepping for it. But the cool thing about it is not only are they packs where we looked at it and said this is what would make sense, but they did a print for every single. That's my affiliate link. Sorry, I just grabbed the one I had.
No, you're good.
That's good.
Good thing to promote.
But you should go to the page if you can bring the page up, actually, because each one of the packs, and they're not in. Most of them are still out of stock because they got decimated over the in a good way over Prime Week. But
that's where I was like, oh.
So each pack has an example image that is printed. So if you look at that bird there, that is a printed image.
Very
the butterfly
clever.
was printed. That was printed. So we picked them all out.
Professional pack.
That's probably that's all of our least favorite one. We're going to do that one again.
Yeah,
the fire color set, that one's really good. The dragon is amazing.
Wow.
I have been told that Joel Telling has that dragon now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, great work. This is incredible.
Cool, but man, that fire dragon.
Photos. You can take photos too.
You should see if another company wants to pick up on like Polymaker's offer. Like
see if
Paramount
Green Gate
3D, they got an amazing collection of colors. They do all Pantone colors as well. They can probably.
It's just insane.
That stuff.
Yeah. So this is what we've been working on. And they've got these. So once these get in stock, I think they're going to sell a bunch of these. But they're just actually, apparently, from what I've been told, their filament is all there, and now Amazon is just warehousing it and getting it for delivery.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, but
hey, Steve, I'm gonna go. I meant to order this about a week ago when we were on online, and forgot all about it. I'm ordering it right now, and the professional.
Yeah.
Lifetime.
I'm going to do it right now, so I don't forget about it again. Hey, do you have any discount codes you want to throw my way?
I knew it was coming.
I was waiting for that.
You notice he didn't step up to say anything.
I do not currently have any discount codes for you since it's free after Polymaker filament for you.
You get $175 in Polymaker filament.
Well, or 80. I think he's talking 80.
Or 80.
Yeah.
He still hasn't claimed.
It doesn't matter. I've already ordered it. I was just jacking with man.
Make sure you get your Discord link out of the download email.
It's downloading right now.
But the email itself has a Discord link in it.
There's some YouTubes to.
Yeah, there are some, but it's a private Discord just for people who own the software, which has been really good so far. We got some really good people who are willing to help, and lots of really great art going on.
That's dope. This
reminds
me.
Just to be clear, because I'm gonna run this on 2 computers. You said there wouldn't be an issue with that.
That is 100% fine. You can run it on all your computers that you own. That's fine. It's
actually going to be split. I'm going to run it on my computer here and Ian's computer.
Yeah.
Because he'll be the one probably using it a hell of a lot more than I am, because he has the bamboos at his house.
That's fine.
But I'd like to be able to create and send it over to him and say, "Hey, print this."
That's no problem. Go ahead.
Okay.
My licensing is as non-restrictive as possible. There's no license keys. It's all on our system. You just download it and install it and use it, and those annuals revert to personal use when the year's over if you don't decide to renew them.
Except for the lifetime.
Yeah, it's cool. Basically and the personal use is lifetime. The only restrictions are that after 2 years you're going to stop getting updates unless you pay a little bit more money. Just because I can't.
You like twisting that knife just a little bit, don't you?
That's reasonable.
People know on like Simplify 3D, which is just like
right.
What's the Simplify 3D? I mean,
and there's some people who like, because the lifetime professional, they say, well, how's it lifetime if I have to pay after 2 years for maintenance and updates? And I said, it's lifetime usage rights and lifetime professional rights, but maintenance is just at some point I gotta make some more money. So
I like that. Payment scheme
dude,
a lot
if we want you to be here tomorrow, you need to make some money off of it. That's
right.
That's business.
Right.
Just business.
Exactly. Yep.
And I get that. And if you're maintaining it, then there won't be an issue. You stop maintaining it, then we'll discuss it.
And it's the streaming service mindset. If you want to not pay for anything because you don't care, and then all of a sudden 2-3 years down the road you're like, ooh, I want that feature, and then you pay for it and you get all the features up until then, plus the new features. So you don't have to maintain your maintenance fee. There's no requirement that you've been up to date, and like, it's just whenever you decide you want to get updates, you pay.
I really respect
Nice.
how much you've done to try and make it accessible. It's just a shame that we all know it. There's absolutely people out there that are going to abuse your generosity.
Sure.
There you go, and that's just a real shame.
But they were either gonna abuse my generosity, or they were just gonna steal it anyway. So for the most part, like, most people who look at it, and because there's definitely groups, right? There's a group of people who are just never gonna pay for it ever, and I was never gonna get them, right? And then there's the people who were like, thought about paying for it, but they got it free from a friend, and they just never get around to it. And then there's the group of people who are like, oh, it's always so expensive, I just have to steal it. And then they're like, oh wait, $12 I can pay. Oh, I'll just do that. Yeah. So so far I have not been hurting for buyers. I'm sure there are way more copies out there than I have recorded, but the people who want to use it, and I really mostly want to be paid by the people who are going to make money with it.
Yeah. There's that option. There is that too, where people are going to distribute extra copies beyond what they reasonably should. Mm-hmm. But then there's also the options of the people who are going to just get the cheapo license and totally sell everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have you have to display a certificate with your order number that you put in there, and it's really not secure. But again, it's mostly just so I can check, and if someone's really just doing tons and tons of sales, and I can't track it back to an order number that makes sense for them, then I can do something about it. But I don't want to spend all my time policing it.
No.
Actually, you should, bumping back to Lubin 3D again, don't they have something for like tagging 3D models? I wonder if you could incorporate something like that.
I can cryptographically sign my STLs, and with a date. But then I have to go get the STL, check the cryptographic. It's just a lot of work for me to do. But I can. I can tag the STLs.
It's not
you
like
could do that even in the program.
It's not like you'd have to do that every time you saw anything out there. But if you saw, one person that was doing a lot of it, and it was really sketchy or something like that, that you could check just that one person.
Yeah, but that's what I plan on doing with the certificate anyway, because I can track you down to your order number and see what's the order number, when the order occur, when did and I can do that if there's a big, and then there's some people like, oh, so you can't control it. There's all these free models on printables. I'm like, actually, all the licenses say you're allowed to give away any model you want to give away. You just can't sell them. So you can give away all the free models you want on printables. That's just fine. But yeah, it's been busy, but it's been a really good launch. It's been a little bit over a month, and and the 3D printing nerd video last Friday really did not hurt at all. So but yeah,
spike in sales right there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I just
commercial. I just bought it.
Nice.
Wallet's getting a little heavy over there.
We've been meaning to do it since Murph, just haven't done it yet.
Dump it all out.
Got a couple ideas for some Death Racer things.
Oh yeah,
I'm not saying what they are. I'm just saying they have purposes.
Layered sides. I gotta figure out how to get my racer to Earth if I go. And I'm gonna have to hire the Hell Texans to do a drag racer.
The printer seemed to fix itself. I'm kind of blown away. It's working great now.
That's the worst, when you get a problem that fixes itself, so you don't know the root.
Chasing a damn ghost.
That's not the worst. The worst thing is when you get a problem that seemingly goes away.
Yep.
And then returns the moment you stop paying attention to the machine again.
Right.
That's
of course.
the worst.
Yeah.
You're
I agree with you there.
Yeah. But stream is not okay.
I'm just having fun with it. Why not?
Well, evidently, I was also watching the Polymaker stream right now, and Liz is on there, Pez Liz.
Okay, yeah.
And I told her to jump in and do a little cameo, and she says, "We see you." Evidently, they're watching us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they're watching us.
Cool.
yeah,
We got a few
everybody's
more
watching
minutes.
us.
Yes. Well, 6 people. Hopefully we'll get more on Wednesdays. I'm going to move it to Wednesdays.
Well, the fun part about
You know
it is we don't really
I
care
guess
if
I-
anyone's watching.
All right.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
more
you know what? That's right, Steve. That's right. Hey,
One of
Mitch,
these
I see you
weeks,
didn't float away, buddy.
What was that?
I said, I see you didn't float away.
No, nothing happened. It just rained.
Man, it looked horrible on the radar. Yeah, I told everybody I'd touch base with you.
Yeah, if it was Texas, I would float away because they don't have they have flash floods and
Yeah, we're flat, dude.
yeah,
I
they
mean,
don't have proper
seriously,
drainage and
Well, actually, we actually have pretty good drainage. Where
Depends on where you are, yeah.
Ian and I live. Yeah, we live in Manville, and we're actually up on a pretty high ridge, so we may get landlocked in if it flood, like during hurricane or tropical storm, whatever they call it, Harvey. And we got 54 inches of rain.
Wow.
And
yeah, that was
other
bad.
than being landlocked in, I mean, we just threw a party. You know, I've got everything runs on a generator, so it really didn't hurt my feelings at all. I didn't even have water standing in the front yard. But there was areas around us, like close to where Ian works in Alvin. They got 7.5 feet of water. I mean, it was enormous, and it sat there forever. It took forever to drain. Felt sorry for those people, but man, nothing we could do about it. We couldn't even get to them.
I've been in second-story apartments pretty much for the last 6-7 years, and so I don't have to worry about it. But it would suck. My car would be gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
can imagine. But yeah, I don't have to worry about it. And if it happens, hopefully insurance covers it. I mean, what's his name? Oh my God, Caleb. Caleb and his Sarah. That was a big deal. They're still looking for a place. They can't even.
It's going to take them forever.
It's gonna take a while to find
What
a
happened
place.
to them?
The house got destroyed by a tornado.
No, apartment. It was house.
It was apartment. It was a duplex or something like that.
Right
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain about a month before.
But basically, most of his stuff is ruined from the
It was at
flooding,
work
from the water.
and
Wow.
the roof got torn off, and the community came together and helped. Quite a nice.
Yeah, we donated a lot of money, and he got
$6,000, and there's other
stuff from it
donations
too.
happening.
Film.
That's still sad, though, man. It just
Oh, yeah.
sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Luckily, the community came together. And
Because everybody else in Little Rock is looking for places too
Yeah.
because of that. They've been displaced, so it's harder to find places, and of course the market is terrible. So that's how it is.
Well, the market's sucking right now, man.
We need to just all rent docks and live in houseboats.
When Jim did the
I know.
live stream, Caitlin and Sarah were in their car. And the amount of money coming,
Oh, yeah.
they were in
Crazy.
tears. They could barely.
That was a cool stream.
Oh my
That was
god,
a
I
cool
was
stream.
in tears. Everyone was.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, folks.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna bail. I'm kind of tired.
I'm actually going to end the stream here in a minute, so I would like to talk to you for just a couple minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
You're
you just
gonna
wanna
spoil-
hit-
you're gonna spoil
once
more
everything
things
shuts
about
down,
Rocky
just,
Mountain?
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say if you're gonna spoil anything else about Rocky Mountain.
Nothing yet. Just working. I'm working on the website and working on the event. I announced the dates.
Yeah.
Did you hear them or no?
Did you get your ride lined up for Earth?
I heard it. Yeah. I was watching you earlier, but I didn't. No, for Earth, I still don't know what I'm gonna do, and I haven't looked up hotels or anything, so we'll see.
Well, I mean, it looks like I may be running solo on the trip anyway. If I have to, I'll route through there and grab you. I mean, it's
if
up
it's
to
not
you.
too far out of the way, I mean, and
Fuck, dude, I don't mind driving, man. I'm kind of cutting. I was planning on zigzagging anyway. So
what I'm trying to
one
do
zigzag
is
won't hurt my feelings.
what I'm trying to do for Earth is Sliceworks kind of gave me parts to build a backpack, so I'm doing a smaller, cheaper backpack printer
Really?
Okay.
I was gonna ask if you were doing another backpack because I really liked that at Rocky
So
Mountain.
this is gonna use the King Rune KPS 3 that he gave me, and he gave me some filament and stuff. So I'm gonna basically print. It's gonna have aluminum extrusions, which I hate, but I'm gonna use aluminum extrusions and build like a custom frame and enclosure. It's gonna be enclosed, and it's gonna have. I'm gonna try to make it as modular as possible, so I don't have to print like large parts. So I can snap everything together. But the idea is that I'll have to probably do. I don't know. I'm kind of frustrated. Like Fusion, I'm good enough at Fusion. I just get frustrated with it. I know you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
understandable.
but the backpack, like I think I can just. I want to do it as simple as possible. So like just shoulder straps. I'm going to use drill batteries. So he's going to try to hook me up with some, I don't know, Ryobi or it doesn't matter. I can get an adapter, but I want to make it as simple as just snap on a drill battery, like 2 drill batteries, be able to hot swap them.
No doubt.
God,
That'd be the way
And
to
then
go.
a barrel
good.
jack plug-in, and that way you can continually run. And then I'm probably going to do
12 amp hour, 20 volt, 60 volt DeWalt batteries.
I probably
Now
if I
that-
can get the
that's
8 if I can get the 18 volts, because I think those are pretty common, and then just step up to 24.
There you go.
It's really just availability, because if I have to fly with a backpack or something, I'd rather take that and then just buy batteries at wherever I'm
Right.
going, and then maybe return them or just give them to somebody. Or the biggest thing is I could take drill batteries on the plane as long as they're under 99 watt hours. So 18 volt DeWalt batteries, I can take like as many as I want, as long as
That's
they're under 5 amp.
Really funny. What a technicality. They're like, no, it's only 27 18 volt, and they're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, they don't. Most of the time they don't even check, because I've taken.
Sure.
But most of the stuff my original backpack printer had 4S 5,000 milliamp hour battery, like LiPo batteries from an RC car. I bought 4 of them, and they were hard shells. They're Turnigy. They're expensive, but they're way overkill, and they're also really dangerous because they didn't have a BMS. I didn't use a BMS. I just used the battery alarm. So if it undervolted, it would damage the cells. So I ended up damaging 2 of them. And so having a built-in BMS is really nice. I don't know if the drill batteries have their own built-in BMS. I don't think they do.
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
But I think they're a lot more resilient because they're using lithium ion.
Yes.
Like 18650s basically. But they have to have some voltage cutoff. Like I can't imagine those batteries would just let you discharge them dead. Or like
the Ryobis will let you run them all the way down till they won't respond anymore. Now I know the DeWalt's have a cutoff, and
I'm hoping it's a DeWalt. If I can get DeWalt's, if they have their own like built-in battery, then it's probably I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I'm trying not to make it hard on myself, because I'm gonna have to make it done. I have to build the whole thing by Earth. But it's also like I want to make it so that I can just publish the entire file setup, and so anybody can do it. And it's cheap. It's a cheap printer. You can print most of the parts, and you can use commonly available like electronics that you don't have to custom make. That's the whole goal of building this. So, and the other thing too is I can bring this to a show and let anybody wear it, and or actually just ship it to somebody if they want to use it for a show. That's what I mean. I want to make it easier on myself, because I've done the backpack printer thing for so long that I like doing it. Just I like doing it, but
I cannot come to any event without a backpack.
I kind of like I'm kind of done with it. I don't know what else to do with it.
We'll just
you can always just up your game. Throw that backpack printer on with that little one-wheel death machine you have.
You already did that. That's been done.
No, I did that, but that was sketchy too.
But
fanny pack printer.
The next big thing.
I had the batteries were in the fanny pack for the first generation.
Baby belt fanny pack.
I've talked. I'm not going to do a Voron V0 because somebody else has done that. I've thought about resin. I've thought about even like a little 3018 CNC. I've thought about doing a positron top hat. I've thought about doing I've thought about doing a palette too, like filament switcher, and then I've also talked to 3D Chameleon about doing 3D Chameleon on the backpack printer.
Yeah, but then you're adding like 8 pounds of filament there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is I have to have smaller spools, and they have to have some kind of buffer zone. And the biggest thing that upgraded was the orbiter on the effector. And so actually, what I'm doing now is on my big Delta, my Artemis, I'm doing the same thing. I have the effector adapter, the duet board. So it's the duet strain gauge board, the adapter that goes onto it, and then the orbiter, and then the Revo. So that's what on the that's what's on the backpack printer. I'm just duplicating that on my other Delta printer, because the Delta printers are just limited by their Bowden systems. If they were just not Bowden, they would be really good.
If you're done carrying your printer, it's the next big thing. Make the printer carry you.
Yeah.
Working on that.
I mean,
right on top of the printer.
I could put it on a bicycle or scooter. It's not a big deal.
No, it needs to have like a hoverboard base, and you just sit on top of it and ride around.
Well,
like
yeah, the one wheel is not a good platform for stability.
He's talking about building a really big Delta printer. Like
that's what I want to do. The big Delta printer is kind of my next thing.
You should turn it into a car and run it off the gas motor. That'd be hilarious.
well, you got to figure out how I'm even going to build this thing first of all, and how I'm going to finance it. Because I'm like in my mind, I'm thinking about $5,000 just for hardware.
Wow.
But I can get sponsors, and I've already talked to Slice. I could probably get Slice involved. I definitely can get Duet involved. They would. After what I've done with the backpack printer, they're willing to help me out with
like
Duet hardware.
You're known in the community.
The major cost on this build is going to basically be the structure of it.
Yeah, the steel. I'm doing steel. I hate aluminum extrusion. I'm not going to go on that rant again, but I'm thinking about steel tubing because it's cheaper, and I'm already doing it for my CNC machine. So I'd rather just go with what I know. Linear rails mounted.
Are you building a CNC as well?
Yeah, print and C. It's an open source parametric CNC machine that you use. You use steel tubing, so it's 2x3 inch square tubing, and the effective cut area is going to be about 3 by 2 feet. And it has a 2.2 kilowatt spindle, water cooled, and it's rigid, and it uses like 25 millimeter linear rails and ball screws, 16 millimeter ball screws. So it's basically strong enough that I can mill aluminum like a Tormach, but not as accurate. Like
that's great.
Within 1/10 of a millimeter probably accuracy with aluminum. So, but I can do it like the MP-CNC is really weak compared to the size. Anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm building a MPC or a print and C. I've been doing that for about 2 years, and then I moved to a basement or a house with a basement.
That's gonna mess with a project.
I mean everything, and then the 3D printer projects, and I keep winning Vorons, so I keep having to build these Vorons.
Yeah,
these stupid V0s, they keep finding their way to me, and I keep liking them. And
that's how you have that's how you start financing it, right? You have the Mitch's free Voron V0 raffles.
Just keep winning Vorons, and
you raffle them off. You don't auction them, raffle them.
I like them though.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would seriously consider a Trident or the V2.4 because I don't like my big Delta printer. That's the limiting capability is just having an enclosed printer that's accurate. Like that can print ABS.
I saw you attach those plastic lids to your Delta. That worked great.
No, that's a whole nother project. I have too many projects and I don't have enough time to do them.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about it.
I haven't even done. I haven't printed anything in like a couple of weeks now.
Oh yeah, barely. I've had these. Yeah.
I keep seeing the HeForge stuff, and I want to do it, but I kind of don't. All right. It just sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like a pain.
So I got the P1S now. My X1C I don't want to turn it into a big long story, but even Bamboo's like, are you sure you don't
We
want
have
to
like
back
10
now?
seconds.
I
So
got
I'm
the-
ending the show.
Yeah,
I got
Justin,
the-
did you have something to say? Like,
No, I have to go to bed. So.
oh,
He's
understandable.
trying to
Yeah,
kick us
I
off.
just wanted
That's-
to
no,
make
I
sure
have
you got
nothing to
any
say.
announcements in.
Nope,
that
I already
you-
got
I'm
mine.
gonna say goodnight.
Yeah,
before you
sorry,
cut it.
sorry to interrupt, Texan.
Yeah.
No, you're
Close
good.
this
I got-
time.
I've got the
Productive.
P1S. I've got the 2A.
That's perfect.
Again.
He's gonna
Oh,
click
that was
out.
hard.
He's
Oh, yeah.
shaking his
That's-
head like.
Oh, that's funny.
I go, I wanted to end the stream. Why are you making it take longer?
You're the one making it take long.
I had a blast. I'll see you around.
Yeah.
All right.
See ya.
Ending
Yeah, nice.
the broadcast. Yeah.